Welcome to Cardinal Stadium here in Fond du Lac, the site for tonight's Fox Valley Association showdown between the visiting Kimberly Papermakers and the host Fond du Lac Cardinals. It is week 4 of the high school football season here in Wisconsin, and USA Today Network Wisconsin is bringing you another great digital live stream. I am Ricardo Arguello, hanging out as always with Brett Christopherson and bringing you those high-definition shots. Jim Rosandick, we're all part of USA Today Network Wisconsin, and we are really happy to be here in the press box at Fond du Lac, Brett, because before we talk about the game, the facilities here, top-notch. It's always a pleasure to come on down here, Brett. Easy to get down here. And this is, I want to say, it's the pearl of this area, this high school and this football field.
It's beautiful. We were talking about that before we went on, right, Ricardo? I mean, you've been down here. You've worked down here before at the Fond du Lac Reporter, but I was at the ledge down there, or what do they call that, across the way looking to the east?
Yes, the ledge.
And
where Springs is.
You can see St. Mary's Springs out in the distance. It's just gorgeous. I can only imagine what it's going to look like here in a few weeks, right, when the colors start to change. But what a beautiful complex. I believe this is the second season, National Exchange Field here at Cardinal Stadium. And not only is it maybe the pearl down here, but it's certainly one of the pearls of the Fox Valley Association.
Sure is.
It's just a gorgeous setting down here. And we're happy to be here. This is going to be a fun game.
We're expecting a good game between these two rivals. There's a lot of familiarity between these two teams. Boy, that's a hard word.
That's a familiarity. That's hard for me.
I had to practice that a couple times. But between these two squads, these two teams, and these two programs, we'll get to know them a little bit here as we start tonight's live stream. I'll start with Fond du Lac. Brett will finish with Kimberly. By the way, these notes put together every week so graciously by Brett Christopherson. Well, what do we know about Fond du Lac? Fond du Lac 0-3. Overall, 0-1 in the FBA. A little bit surprising, but Brett, I think you told me last year they started 0-4.
Well, we were here week 3 when they took on Appleton North and fell to 0-3. Then I think they lost to Kimberly in week 4.
Right.
Then they rebounded. That's actually a good point. They played, and we'll talk about it, a brutal schedule again this season.
Brutal.
They got a tough one again next week at Kaukauna, but here's the thing. They're battle-tested. They've played some of the state's powerhouses. 2 of the 3 losses have come against top 10 teams as voted on by WisSports.net, the state coaches polls. So they've taken some punches, and they're used to some tough competition. And number 2, it seems like when these two teams play each other, always close games, right? And Kimberly comes in a little banged up. We'll talk about that. But I'm expecting – I think people look at Kimberly, top-ranked, undefeated is Kimberly. I think this is going to be a game in the fourth quarter. I could be wrong, but I would be surprised if it isn't. Let's just put it that way.
But no doubt about it, Fond du Lac, they're not scheduling non-conference cupcakes.
Tomato cans, as you put it.
No tomato cans here. That schedule is always top-notch.
It is.
And Coach Pluker, I'm sure, and the athletic directors here and everything, the whole Fondy football community wants it that way, Brett. No, because that doesn't help you whooping somebody 50-0. I'll tell you that right now. But what do we know about Fond du Lac? Well, they're coming off a 21-7 setback against Appleton North. That was last Thursday in an FBA matchup at Appleton. Lightning scored a pair of second-half touchdowns, Brett, to break that 7-7 halftime tie. Handed Fond du Lac its 3rd loss of the season. Caden Umentum rushed for 155 yards on 40 carries and also threw for 72 yards and a touchdown on 5 of 13 passing to pace the Cardinals' offense. His 24-yard toss to Rhett Helvaka.
Yeah, there you go.
With 5:51 to play in the first quarter, gave Fond du Lac a 7-0 lead. Let me tell you that Umentum name around here, that's a common name around here in terms of athletic excellence. I've seen that name before when I was sports editor down here. Overall, Fondy rushed for 178 yards, finished with 250 total offensive yards. Quinton Ortegon, am I saying that correct?
Mm-hmm.
Finished with 2 catches for 14 yards, while Helvaka's 24 receiving yards led the team. Defensively, Fond du Lac was solid as it limited the Lightning to just 211 yards. Gabe Jones, he tallied a team-high 7 tackles. Umentum, he also did throw 2 picks. Now on the season, DeAndre Williamson Jr. has thrown for 303 yards and 2 touchdowns while completing 53% of his passes. The sophomore had to sit out last week because of concussion protocol.
He's playing tonight, I hear.
Okay,
yeah.
So he's playing tonight. He's tossed 3 interceptions this season. He's thrown for 87 yards and a touchdown. That was Umentum has thrown for 87 yards and a touchdown. Umentum's the team leader in rushing with 208 yards and a score. He's rushed for an average of 104 yards a game. Mason Henschel is next with 136 yards. Connor Johnson tops in receiving, 15 catches, 215 yards, and 2 scores. Xavion Davis is next with 6 catches for 70. And on the defensive line, on the defensive side, Lavaca has 31 tackles, including 3 for loss to lead the way. Jones is next with 17 stops. And as a team, Fond du Lac is averaging 130 passing yards per game and allowing 167. Cardinals are averaging just a shade under 200 rushing yards a game, and they're allowing 156. They're also averaging 11 points a game and allowing 26.7. Their next game, as Brett said, at Kaukauna next Friday, FBA matchup. That's set for 7 o'clock. What can you tell me about Kimberly?
Kimberly Ricardo, 2-0 overall, 1-0 in the Fox Valley Association. Remember, they had their Week 1 game. The opponent, Milwaukee Vincent, pulled out, so a game behind. It's Week 4, but third game of the season for the Papermakers, but undefeated and ranked number 1 in Division 1 in this week's WisSports.net State Coaches Poll. I know they're ranked high in the ESPN media poll here in the state of Wisconsin as well, but they're coming off a 49-0 rout of Oshkosh West. That was last Thursday in a Fox Valley Association matchup at Kimberly. The quarterback duo of Braden Ellefson and Cam Wong threw for 3 touchdowns, while Brady Bell ran for 3 more as Kimberly remained unbeaten on the season. Ellefson threw for 112 yards and a TD. 13-yard hookup with Keegan Plew in the second quarter that gave the Papermakers a 21-0 lead. 9 of 12 passing, by the way, for Ellefson. Meanwhile, Wong threw for 90 yards and a pair of TDs, a 15-yarder to Aiden Lam and a 29-yarder to Chase Schiedermeyer on 6 of 7 passing. Combined, Ellefson and Wong threw for 202 yards on 15 of 19 passing. Bell rushed for 60 yards and scored on a pair of 1-yard runs and a 14-yard run. Plew, he ran for 117 yards and scored from 5 yards out in the first quarter. Overall, Kimberly rushed for 231 yards. Carter Howard finished with 4 catches to lead the receivers. He was part of a balanced receiving core that had 3 players finish with at least 44 yards as he wound up with 44 on the dot, as I said. Aaron Cullen, 3 catches for 54 yards, while Schiedermeyer, 3 receptions for 46 yards, and defensively, Tyler Williamson led the way with 8 tackles. On the season, Ellefson has thrown for 190 yards and 2 touchdowns while completing 74% of his passes. Wong, 90 yards and a pair of scores on 6 of 8 passing. Plew, now the team leader in rushing with 152 yards and 2 TDs. He's averaging 76 yards per game and 12.7 yards per attempt. Ellefson has rushed for 79 yards, followed by Bell with 65. Of course, Marcus Doucette out for the season with a broken collarbone, but he was off to a great start. 133 yards and a touchdown that included that 91-yard sprint to the end zone in Week 2 against Bayport before he went down. Howard and Cullen, team leaders in receiving. Howard has 6 catches for 67 yards, while Cullen is at 5 receptions for 68 yards. And then on the defensive side, Williamson tops on the team in tackles with 15. Ellefson is next with 9 stops, followed by Sawyer Hanlon with 8 tackles. And then as a team, Kimberly is averaging 140 passing yards per game and allowing 77.5. Papermakers are averaging 238.5 rushing yards per game and allowing 102. And then as we look at the scoreboard, completely lopsided so far. Kimberly averaging 42 points per game and allowing 7. And after this, Week 5 for the Papermakers, that's next Friday. They're at Appleton East. FVA matchup kickoff is set for 7 p.m.
One thing is for sure, Brett, this Fond du Lac team is not short on numbers. The roster is quite numerous.
Sizable?
Quite sizable, yes. It's very, very nice, and that's good to see.
Just great having the field right by campus. Now, how far is Fruth from here? You know the lay of the land.
In the city. I want to say that's on 9th Street or 9th Avenue, way inside the city.
Yeah.
Beautiful facility there as well, but we all we're there. The floodplain.
Yeah.
They always had problems with that.
National anthem coming up.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, now please join me in showing our appreciation and respect to those that have served or are currently serving our country by coming to your feet. Gentlemen, remove your hats as we honor America with the playing of our national anthem. Performed tonight by the Fond du Lac High School Marching Cardinals under the direction of Chris Barnes, Cassidy Adamson, and Jake Opperman.
Fond du Lac marching Cardinals with tonight's national anthem as we're getting ready for this Week 4 matchup. Hard to believe, Ricardo, we're closing in on halfway through the season already, right?
We're getting there, my friend.
Yeah, after next week, we'll be over halfway through. And
I don't want to jinx anything, Brett, but it's great weather the next 7 to 10 days. Have you seen
it's
that?
like summer.
You're going to be in shorts through October.
You know what they say? This is like summer weather, and I say because it is still summer.
It is still summer, yes.
All right. Everybody wants that fall weather, but looking forward to this game. And, boy, big crowd here at Cardinal Stadium. Not surprised, right? The two longtime rivals who have – we'll talk about this later on tonight too, but some big matchups over the years. And
some classic
games.
Incredible finishes.
Some incredible performances. If you remember the Braden Allen, Kyle Waljasper game from a few years back. So hey, they got those lights flashing. That's pretty cool there on the light standards there. Maybe Rosen could get a good look at that. Again, just a spectacular setting. This would be a good playoff setting.
Oh, again, this place is just fantastic to watch a game at.
So the ledge, Ricardo, so you go up and then it's down like Highway 23 takes it right. Then it flattens out right down to Sheboygan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I want to say on the ledge too, Springs has their turf field there too now.
Okay. Who uses Fruth?
I'm not sure if they do use Fruth.
They have that beautiful entrance at Fruth Field.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, again, looking forward to this game. Looks like Kimberly will kick off to start. Looks like back to receive for Fond du Lac. Number 12, Connor Johnson. Number 44, Mason Henschel. That's going to be Henschel, number 44, with it. Now he's going to flip it over to Johnson, who's got some a little bit of a running lane. Nice return past the 20, and we already have a flag. Coming back. Thanks to everyone checking us out tonight on our USA Today Network Wisconsin sites, Post Crescent, Fond du Lac Reporter, also the Facebook pages, Post Crescent, Fond du Lac, and Green Bay, because I know Green Bay folks always like to keep an eye on what's going on for potential playoff matchups. Also, our USA Today Network Wisconsin YouTube channel. Give us a subscribe to that and give us all these likes that you can. We always appreciate your support. We'll talk about the great digital subscription that we have going on right now. $1 for 6 months. Can't go wrong with that. Unlimited digital access. Tell you where we'll be next week. I already have that one set in stone. So, boy, that hold, Ricardo, now down to, the 9-yard line?
Yep. I want to apologize everyone beforehand, Brett. I'm battling a little bit of a cough here. So
some allergies, right? Yeah.
A little bit. So I'm popping these cough drops like they're candy.
I've noticed that, too. With the increase in temperature, eyes are getting a little scratchy again.
Yeah. We're getting old, too, Brett.
Well, that's part of it. Here we go. And a little toss to number 14. That's Carter Howard. And good to see Ricardo. Or check that number. Number 14 is Xavier Davis. I'm looking at the Kimberly roster.
Yes.
Number 13, the sophomore quarterback, DeAndre Williamson, back. Now, according to our colleague Lance LeCue, who works down here at the Fond du Lac Reporter, he missed last week as he was in concussion protocol, so good to see that he's doing well and back out. I know they are very high, very athletic. Ooh, big-time hit. Connor Johnson with the carry there, but that was number 55 coming in. Tyler Williamson, the senior linebacker. And third and about 5 for this Fondy offense. You can see number 90 for the Papermakers. Sawyer Hanlon, one of your Elite 11s, Ricardo, the senior defensive lineman. He's looking over at the Kimberly fans, trying to get them all pumped up. He wants to get off the field and get that offense on. Let's see what Williamson and this Fondy offense can do here on 3rd and 4. He's got time.
He does.
A little pump fake over the middle, and that's a first down. And that is a completion to Connor Johnson. And Ricardo, you give your quarterback that kind of time. And then Johnson looks like a good receiver. It looks like they're trying to get the ball in his hands. He's a playmaker. And that was just a good confident throw. Stepped into it, had time, and first down.
Yeah, 10-yard pass. And showing good zip is DeAndre Williamson, again, 6 foot, 170-pound sophomore. First down and 10 at the 25.
There's a handoff. Number 2 is at Braden Bingen, a senior, with a couple yards on that carry. Looking at the series all time, Kimberly leads at 20-14. Series has been fairly even, though, in recent seasons, with Kimberly winning 5 of the last 8, so 5-3 Papermakers, so some close games. Last time they faced each other, week 4 last season, that was a 22-21 Papermakers victory.
I want to say because Fond du Lac, earlier they played in that same league with like Sheboygan's and Manitowoc, right? I think a while ago.
Way back when.
Yeah.
Little pump fake, nice spiral, just a little high.
Had his man there. Yeah, just a little too high.
Bryson Veith's 25-yard touchdown catch from quarterback Carson Pendleton with 6:31 to play, followed by Marcus Doucette's 2-point conversion run. That proved to be the decisive score in that game last year. Of course, perhaps the biggest meeting between these two teams came back in week 1 of the 2018 season. Remember that, a 31-28 Fond du Lac victory that snapped Kimberly's state record 70-game winning streak. Jared Shebrel's 26-yard field goal won it as time expired. That was a classic. Williamson, he's got time again,
hit.
rainbowing one, and yeah, he got hit. I wonder if that caused the wayward pass, but Kimberly defense gets off the field, getting some pressure on Williamson. Fond du Lac has to punt.
I thought Williamson showed good, good moxie, just standing in there and taking that hit, Brett. The throw just a little bit wide, but I mean that's tough to do, tough to ask a young kid to do, huh?
Oh, no doubt about it. Number 14, Carter Howard. Number 26, Keegan Plew back to receive this punt. And that's going to be,
off the side of his foot.
There we go. I always get confused as to how they figure out how they're going to,
Triangulation.
where they're going to spot this ball. Looks like right at the Fond du Lac 40-yard line, so great field position for this Kimberly
13-yard
offense.
punt.
First offensive series for the Papermakers tonight. Papermakers 2-0, as I said, ranked number 1 in the WisSports.net state coaches poll in Division 1, but Ricardo and the large schools are not, right?
I think they were 4th. I have that. I'll have to look that up real quick when I get a chance.
A couple of polls to keep an eye on this season. Braden Ellefson at quarterback, Plew right next to him. And it's going to be a handoff to Plew, trying to work around that big offensive line. And maybe a couple there. Second down coming up. It's just too bad about Marcus Doucette. Boy, he was off to such a great start for the Papermakers, as I mentioned, in that Week 2 game against Bayport. But lost for the season when he suffered a broken collarbone in that game. He had 133 yards and a touchdown. Remember, I mentioned that 91-yard dash to the end zone. 13 carries he had when he went down with the injury. Doucette was coming off a strong junior season, 720 yards and 7 touchdowns. So I know a lot of that offense was going to be centered around him, but now they have to adjust, and it seems to me that at least so far, so good for Kimberly. 3rd and long, though, coming up.
Yeah, Ellefson rolling out to his right, just a little too far for his receiver. We'll see how many yards are gained here, Brett, because I'm thinking this is right around where you can try four downs.
4 down territory. We'll see what happens, but an interesting question. Or do you just try to pin them deep and play field position? We'll see what Ellefson wants to do. He's going to hand it off. Ooh, big hole. And he doesn't have to worry about that at all. First down, run. Great blocking up front. That was Brady Bell, the junior running back, showing a little vision, Ricardo, and a little spin at the end, and that moves the chains. Boy, a little demoralizing. If you're the Fond du Lac defense on 3rd and 8, Kimberly's just saying, hey, we're going to run it. Probably, like you said, try to get into a little bit more manageable 4th down, but instead, no need to make that decision. 1st and 10 at the 28.
nifty little run there by Bell. And they're expecting a lot out of that young man along with
Keegan Plew.
Plew, yeah. I mean, Brady Bell, 5'7". He's a junior, 180 pounds.
Strong, yeah, and low center of gravity, not a real big target. So he can crouch low under that big offensive line, kind of get lost. And first down run. Ellefson's going to go downfield. He's got him. Good throw, good route, and that's number 18. That is Jeremy Dirks. Senior fullback, Ricardo. Getting out in a passing route.
Yeah, we've seen that play numerous times in this Kimberly offense, Fred.
Getting a little lost in that defense, right? And first and goal at the 8.
20-yard pass. First and goal to goal at the 8 for the Paper Makers.
That's Plew looking for some running lane. Ooh, nothing there. Looked like number 34 for the Cardinals, one of the first ones there. Guess who? Rhett Lavaca, senior linebacker, also the tight end. Lavaca.
I got to remember that.
One of their standout players, and you can see there a good job wrapping up Plew. Second down and goal, 1-yard pickup for Plew. Ellefson waiting for the snap. He's got Bell. Handoff to Bell. And at number 7 for the Cardinals, Sam Amadon. That's how you say it. There you go. Senior linebacker. Third and goal, Ricardo. Ball to 5.
They're marking it at the 6.
At the 6,
so that was only a yard gain. So Brett brings up an interesting dilemma. If this becomes a 4th and short, or for Kimberly.
Ellefson's going to keep it, trying to wiggle his way in, and
he's
in.
in.
Nice play call, and he scores from 6 yards out, Ricardo. Good little play fake. They had to honor that, and then he just kind of ducked his shoulders down, and some good blocking up front. Nothing too fancy, but a good kind of, I don't want to call it misdirection, but the defense definitely keying in on the handoff, and Ellefson just keeps it. First score of the game goes to the Paper Makers. PAT, high snap, but good job by the holder, and that is good for number 10, Maddox Hermes. And as we look at our Cellcom scoreboard, 6:01 to play here in the first quarter. Papermakers strike first on their first offensive series, 7-0 Kimberly on the 7-yard touchdown run by Braden Ellefson.
You know, Ellefson, we saw him last year do this, Brett, come in at certain points to run some of those tough yardage, low, or I should say short yardage situations, that he would come in and get those kind of tough yards with his legs. And there, he had a little bit of a hole, but he also made things happen with his feet as well.
Absolutely. Hey, I want to thank our sponsors, Cellcom and Cooney's Embroidery and Sportswear. Cellcom is your local wireless carrier who keeps you connected to what matters most with a homegrown 5G network and extraordinary customer care. They're more than just a wireless carrier. They are technology with a heartbeat. Visit Cellcom.com to learn more and get your team, club, or business name out there with Cooney's Embroidery and Sportswear. They customize products specifically to fit their customers' needs, custom embroidery, screen printing, and graphic design. Cooney's does it all. Visit them online at Cooney'sEmbroideryandSportswear.com. So 7-0 Papermakers as Hermes gets ready to kick off. And again, back to receive number 12, Connor Johnson, number 44, Mason Henschel. This time, Connor Johnson right at the goal line. And let's see what kind of running room he has. Ricardo, that was a fantastic kickoff. I mean, really pinned him. Another flag on the return. I want to thank Athletic Director Kevin Flegner for welcoming us in. Actually, everybody here has been so great getting us all set up. Always enjoy our trips down to Fond du Lac and So thank you, Kevin and crew. Also got to bump into the principal here, the former athletic director, Dave Mikulkavich.
Aha.
And as I've said before, I'm getting old. I covered Dave when he was a standout high school athlete at St. Mary Catholic High School back in like the late 90s. So good to see Dave. Good to see that he's doing well and
Not old, veteran. You're wise.
wisdom, right?
Wisdom.
A lot of wisdom in the hair now. So again, Ricardo, another penalty, a hold, backs up Fond du Lac inside the 10 at the 9-yard line again. So mistakes on special teams,
Now,
forcing long fields.
They were able to get out of the, they were able to put together a first down on that first drive. We'll see what happens here.
Watch out! Wow, good job by Williamson. Oh,
It
that
goes
was guess
quick.
who? Braden Ellefson just shot
hurt.
through. I thought Williamson, Ricardo had a little bit of running room, but now Ellefson's getting up slow. Oh boy. And he's down. You can kind of see number 90 for Kimberly to Sawyer Hanlon. Kind of like had that look like, are you kidding me? Ellefson just shot through and made a great tackle, open field tackle on Williamson, who I thought did a good job getting out of that initial pressure.
Looks like to be all right. But that's one of the things you worry about. I talked about this with Coach Michaelwitz about playing Ellefson both ways. He's such a valuable player, obviously on offense, but defense is where he kind of leads the team. And you kind of run that danger. And Fond du Lac is no stranger to that.
Carson Raditz, I remember. Yeah.
They've had a lot of players play both ways. And
didn't Braylon Allen, was he a two-way guy?
I want to say he was a two-way guy.
Yeah. Well, it's good to see Ellefson run off. Looks like he's okay. Yeah, because Chad Michaelwitz, the head coach at Kimberly, he's your quarterback. But remember, in preseason, in the previews, he said he's too valuable to take off the field. Wow.
He had him there.
Beautiful throw, though.
That was a good decision, Brett. It's just, that was the receiver has to help out the quarterback there, Brett, and not be so close to the sideline.
Yeah.
Give him a little bit more room to work with there, but that was a nice throw. That's about a 40-yard throw, Brett.
Yeah, Caden Umentum, the intended receiver. But, yeah, Ricardo, perfect spiral, too, right down. It was just a little off. Like you said, receiver maybe a little too close to that boundary. But, wow, that's something to kind of keep an eye on. Williamson showing off his arm. But, again, to finish that point on Ellefson, yeah, Michaelwitz said he's just too good to take off the field. We can't have him just playing one way. So third, and what do we have here? Looks like a Kimberly timeout. Got our friend Hank DeWild tweeting us. Collarbone recovery time is 8 to 12 weeks, according to Google. He's thinking maybe if the papermakers make a deep run, maybe it's premature to say he's out for the season, depending on how far the papermakers can get.
I guess if you look at a silver lining, Brett, that injury to Doucette, it happened first half of the first game.
Yeah, week
so
2.
That's the only silver lining I can think of that maybe, quite possibly, if they do reach the quarterfinal level or the semifinal level, maybe we could see the return of Marcus Doucette. That's pure speculation, of
That's
course.
a long ways out. Yeah, you don't know. It's kind of like what folks are saying about the Jordan Love injury, right? At least it happened in week 1. Did you see, Ricardo, he's listed as questionable?
That's just LaFleur goofing around.
Yeah, I'm thinking he's playing, guys. I'm thinking he's going to trot out there and throw for 400 yards. Williamson.
This isn't Madden.
Williamson gets it off. Ooh, a little high. Again, that pocket kind of collapsing. He had to get rid of it, but I like his athleticism. I like his arm. I like his poise. He sticks in there, Ricardo, even with pressure coming.
Yeah, he knows he's going to take a hit, but he tried to stay in there and let the receivers finish their route, give them a chance with that ball. So I'm sure it's a little frustrating for the Fondy offense right now. It's always tough when you're battling second and long situations, third and long situations. That's where the run game needs to be really on fire in a way to get to alleviate some of those long distance situations on second and third down.
Carter Howard and Keegan Plew, you see where they're lined up for this punt. They're at the 40-yard line of Fond du Lac. So see what kind of field position Kimberly gets here.
Well, the first punt went 13 yards.
Yeah, and that one's just high.
Boy.
Oh, wow. Where are you gonna mark this,
That's
Ricardo?
inside the 30?
Yeah, inside the 30. He's going to stop right at the 25-yard line. Wow. So what is the
That's a 15-yard punt. So a
13
couple
and
yards
15?
better.
Oh, what? Yeah, 15 or 13 was the first one. Well, you're given a very good Kimberly offense with that offensive line and Plu and Bell and Ellefson.
Short field.
Short field indeed. Here we go. Second offensive series for the Papermakers starts at the Fond du Lac 25-yard line. Looks like Bell out for the direct snap. He's just going to take it and slither his way, spinning his way. Good run for Brady Bell.
This puts the onus on that Fond du Lac defense, Brett, to somehow, number one, stop Kimberly, but number two, possibly get a takeaway, because they're in the position here, Brett, where it's 4-down territory.
No doubt about it. Yeah, definitely a big moment here for Fond du Lac, but easier said than done. You know, talk about putting your defense in a tough spot. This is it right here. Kimberly already up 7-zip now, 2nd and 7 after that Bell run. Bell back out there again. Check that. That's Keegan Plu now taking the direct snap. Big hole up front. And number 7 for Fond du Lac, Sam Amadon, the senior linebacker. Third down coming up. Third and what, about 2?
Bring up 3rd and 2 for the Papermakers.
So third down, but no doubt, Ricardo, 2 downs to pick up 2 yards. And I'm sure that Kimberly very confident with that big offensive line. Now it's Brady Bell's turn to take it. He's getting a big hole, yep. That was a good block by number 33 to just spring that open. That was John Hansen, senior fullback, Ricardo, really doing a good job of just standing up his guy. Offensive line doing work on the other side. And that was a big running lane that I could run through.
Yes, 3 carries I have for 22 yards for Bell.
And let me tell you, they called me Wheels in high school, but it wasn't for my speed, okay?
Oh, you're driving Trans Am, a little Firebird?
It wasn't that either.
Oh, okay.
I'm just saying, wasn't the most swift of foot.
I thought it was a car. I was picturing Billy Madison, Rosie, when he pulls up to the high school when he goes back to high school.
First and goal for Brady Bell, and now he's nothing there. Good pursuit. Who is that?
Good secondary support too.
Amadon, Ricardo, number 7, getting in there and reading that well. Now you see if these are situations maybe that they could set something up, talking about Kimberly. Sort of what we saw with Ellefson. They all had a key in on the handoff. He took it. Now Ellefson, keep in mind, guys, he has not been at quarterback for this second series. So all direct snaps right now to Plu and Bell. Loss of 2 on that play, 2nd and goal.
2 receivers far side there, BC. Lots of room up there to operate.
Plu waiting for it. It's his turn. And looking for just nothing there. Number 0 coming in. Aiden Kester, senior defensive lineman.
Who ran that? Was that Plu?
That was Plu. So 3rd and goal coming up.
3rd and goal for the Papermakers.
Clock nearing that 2-minute mark here in a fast-moving first quarter from National Exchange Field at Cardinal Stadium on the campus of Fond du Lac High School. Beautiful weather, beautiful week 4 setting. Huge crowd here. And Ellefson now on the run, looking for something. He's going to tuck it in. Watch out. Now what do you do, Ricardo? 4th down and goal at the 2. And I think if you're Kimberly, you're more than happy to go for it here with that big offensive line. See if Ellefson stays out there, because then you have some different options with him. And if you don't get it, then you're real confident in your defense and playing that field position.
Well, they got big old number 99 in there helping out Hunter Spranger, 6'7", 270-pound tight end. Brett, we'll see if they just go right behind him on the, I want to say it's the left side, but
yeah, it's going to be Brady Bell now. He's going to take the direct snap, trying to get to the left side. Easy, Ricardo, you called it. And that's a 2-yard touchdown run by Bell.
Brady Bell into the end zone for a touchdown.
that's tough. That's a lot of beef over there on the left side of that line.
So Kimberly now taking advantage of short fields. Some special teams miscues for Fond du Lac, and we're a PAT away waiting the kick by number 10, Maddox Hermes, to make this a 14-0 game. Hermes with a good leg. Everything good there. Snap, hold, and kick sails through. And with 1:03 remaining in this opening quarter, fast start for the Papermakers again. They're up 14-0 as we look at our Cellcom scoreboard.
Well, boy, the pressure's really on the Fond du Lac offense now, bro.
Boy, I guess. Hank DeWild also talking about playing both sides of the ball. Much easier since they got rid of that crazy 3 games in 2 weeks they used to have early in the playoffs. Remember that? They would play.
Yeah.
Yeah. He said, however, I thought the QB was off limits, but clearly not.
Hank, he's right on that, Brett. That was always an odd way to start the postseason. Because it would be like would it be a Tuesday and a Saturday or something like that? It was odd.
So we got a question on YouTube. Why is it mixed on the scoreboard? It should be Kimberly on the left, Fond du Lac on the right. We go through this all the time.
Do it up, Brett.
It's so that because we are a 3-man crew and we're trying to keep pace with everything, it's easier when I look at the scoreboard here and it's the same home on the left, visitor on the right on the scoreboard. That's going to be the same on our Cellcom scoreboard, so I can take a quick glance and make sure everything is A-OK.
That's right, Brett. Let them have it.
Just enjoy the webcast, guys. Come on now. You're going to complain about that? Please. Johnson with it, trying to get around. Oh, what an open field tackle there by number 39 for Kimberly. That is Chris Tao, Ricardo, a sophomore defensive back, bringing down Connor Johnson. Open field tackle. Ball will be at the 17, 18-yard line for the Cardinals. Had a nice ride down, Ricardo. I actually took the east side of the lake down.
Nice. I was thinking of doing that, but I went to traditional 41.
Yeah, I didn't want to deal with the maniacs on 41 and some of the construction. Plus, in the Appleton area, I actually live on that eastern side, so it's real quick for me to drive down to Sherwood and hook up to 114 Highway 55. But it's a beautiful drive. I don't know if you've ever done that, but
done that a couple times.
Real pretty. You can see the lake a lot of the way coming down. Just a nice, easy drive. Probably will go back that way coming home. And not much there for Bingen. A lot of little towns you get to go through. It's fun to see what's going on. I think there was a vintage tractor show in one of the little communities. Looked like a lot of people were there. Looked like some fun. Go past that what is that called? The Little Farmer?
Yep.
That's a popular fall visit if you ever want to come on down towards that Fond du Lac area on the east side of Lake Winnebago. Becomes actually 151 coming into town, but might want to take the kids to that if you're looking for something to do. Williamson will watch out. Got to get rid of it. And just good defense all around. Number 90 with the pressure, Sawyer Hanlon. But was that number 49 with the tackle? And yeah, Trent Dunk, junior linebacker. And that is going to close out the opening quarter. All Kimberly so far in this one as we look at our Cellcom scoreboard. 12 minutes in the books. Papermakers up 14-0 in our Cellcom Varsity Game of the Week live stream. Don't forget, folks, to get in on that digital subscription deal. We really would appreciate your support. Just sign up right now for a digital subscription to the Post Crescent Fond du Lac Reporter, really any of our USA Today Network Wisconsin sites. $1 for 6 months. That's all it costs, and that gets you full unlimited access on your desktop, tablet, and mobile devices every day. Exclusive subscriber newsletters, full access to national reporting with the USA Today Sports Plus app, The e-edition is part of that. That's a digital replica of the print edition. Please, folks, you can help play a vital role in supporting local journalism that you and your community can trust by signing up for a digital subscription today. You can find more information on any of our websites. And by the way, guys, $1 for 6 months, that goes a long way into helping us continue on with these Cellcom Varsity Game of the Week live streams. So third down coming up. Williamson, oh, watch a fumble. It was number 88 with the strip sack. 55 falls on it. Ricardo 88, Eli Jansen. And 55 is Tyler Williamson falling on it. But Jansen was the one, Ricardo, who got pressure. The defensive end, the junior defensive end, 6'3", 225 pounds, gets around, swats it out of Williamson's hands. And Williamson falls on it. Look at this, 1st and goal from the 11.
Ooh.
Talk about the fields are getting shorter and shorter, but how about that pursuit by Eli Jansen?
Kimberly defense up front is just so active. They can just send wave and wave of players at you.
Now Ellefson, he's going to drop back. He's got time, slings it over. Oh, and he got it. And just like that, an 11-yard pitch and catch. That's Aaron Cullen. One play off of that sack and strip sack fumble. Look at that. I'm not sure Cullen was quite ready for that throw.
Well, I will say this. I think Cullen got away with a little bit of a push off, Brett, on that corner of the end zone. But, hey, it's only a penalty if they catch you doing it.
So the turnover, and it's a one-play strike from Ellefson to Cullen. Hermes now out for the PAT, and this is starting to get out of hand with 11:45 to go in just the second quarter. Kick is good, and 21-0 is the lead for Kimberly as we look at our Cellcom scoreboard.
Cardinals would like to thank the meal moms this season, Julie Mulry, Heidi King, Bridget Amadon, Amy View, and Selena Lambert. These ladies will be coordinating all pregame meals for the Funny Cards this season. Funny Cardinals would also like to thank our pregame meal sponsor for tonight's game, Mancino's Pizza and Grinders in Fond du Lac. Please stop in at Mancino's and thank them for supporting Funny Cardinal football.
Ricardo, all 3 offensive possessions for the Papermakers have led to touchdowns, and I believe all 3 fields are getting shorter and shorter and shorter. All in Fond du Lac territory. And Kimberly, top-ranked team in the state in Division I, well in command so far. And Ricardo, you hate to say it with 11:45 to play in the second quarter, but it almost feels like now or never for Fond du Lac. They got to get something going here offensively.
Maybe a special teams play or something to get a spark.
Johnson has it. Looking for maybe that special team spark, but a big tackle there by number 12. Yeah, Logan Clavijo, the junior. Having a hard time reading the roster.
I'll tell you this, though, at least they're at the 26, and that's a plus because they've had penalties their first 2 possessions, Brett, that had them inside the 20.
How about Mike Sherry, Kakana leading Nina 10-zip.
Ooh.
Nina's been kind of playing a little ornery after we saw him in week 1 fall to Muskego. Remember, the Rockets had a big first half lead, and Muskego roared back, and it's been all Nina since. We liked what we saw from Kakana last week when we streamed the Ghosts and Hortonville. Bron Schaefer, good-looking quarterback. Parker Shue, of course, one of the top receivers in the state.
Awesome offensive line.
Big offensive line, yeah. This time, Will Williamson going to keep it nowhere to go. And who had that? Guess who? Braden Ellefson just wrapped up. Williamson just busted through and really kind of disrupted that whole play. I mean, you need a little time to kind of sell that. Ellefson was right there.
Yeah, you know, Boy, oh boy, they weren't fooled at all. So Williamson, he was better off just handing that one off. It's tough. You know, that's a tough defensive line to kind of crack, Brett. So many talented players, but it always seems like Kimberly's always just churning out those great defensive linemen.
Well, we talked about it on the 920 Sports podcast this week. We really like that Kimberly defense and flexing their muscles so far tonight. And that was
a nice play, too.
It was open, Ricardo, just a little off. The timing right now, not there between Williamson and that time. Number 12, Connor Johnson, his senior wide receiver. Thank you to, who would you say, Lolo Dolly? You guys are doing a great job announcing the game. Appreciate it. Ricardo, you got to keep track of the YouTube chat.
Oh.
Appreciate that. Thanks for hopping on and watching tonight. So look at this, behind the sticks, 3rd and 14 for the Cardinals. And watch out, that Kimberly defense licking their chops right now, thinking maybe they can blow this play up to, whoa, watch out, holy smokes.
Got his
and
man.
Johnson catches it, still on his feet, oh, look at him go. Gets to the Kimberly 40. Williamson just had to throw it up in the air, Ricardo, let his receiver make a play. He did, because Williamson took a shot. I thought he was going to get sacked, didn't see who got in there. But how about Johnson just going up for it and bringing it down, and there is the spark Fond du Lac needs.
Yeah, Brett, you know, that was just a fantastic jump up and get from Connor Johnson, Brett. He timed that. He had position and pulled that one down. Boy, they needed that in the worst possible way. Am I right?
Oh, no doubt about it. He just had to throw it up, and that great job by the sophomore quarterback there. Again, he knows he's going to get hit, and just the awareness, just kind of throw it up in the vicinity of one of his playmakers, and that's what he did. Johnson making a play, 1st and 10 at the 40. Sometimes you see those young quarterbacks, and they just, not say panic or anything, but tuck it in, but he had the awareness to just throw it downfield, let his receiver make a play. So 1st and 10 for Fond du Lac. Williamson, maybe that he'll get his confidence going a little bit, get this offense moving against a vaunted Kimberly defense. Here we go, handoff. Still on his feet, big time run. And now you got that Fond du Lac crowd going. That was number 44, Mason Henschel, the junior running back, 6 feet, 185 pounds, showing some physicality on that far sideline.
Well, big burst plays here, Brett. 38 yards, 14 yards. See if Fond du Lac can finish this drive.
Williamson, hands off. Henschel looking for some space. A couple yards. Yeah, Fond du Lac, as we said, one of the toughest schedules that they've played so far in the state again. Cardinals fell to Sussex Hamilton 28-14 in week 1. Marquette 31-12 in week 2. And then, of course, Appleton North 21-7 last week. Sussex Hamilton currently ranked 10th in Division 1 in the coaches poll. Marquette, the defending D1 state champs, they ranked 9th. Of course, Appleton North, always a premier program in Division 1 and the FBA. But the schedule still stays tough. Kakana is next for the Cardinals. So week after week, Williamson trying to go back the other way. And it almost an interception. Good coverage there by, is that number 39 for the Papermakers? Chris Tao, the sophomore defensive back. Kakana ranked 5th in Division 2 this week and leading Nina right now 10-zip. So we're thinking here on 3rd down, that schedule's got to have you prepared for something like this, right, Ricardo? A game like this?
I'll tell you what, I have Williamson 4 for 9 for 53 yards unofficially passing.
What was that play to Johnson?
38 yards.
Williamson waiting for it, and what do we have here?
Oh, no.
We have a flag. Oh, we're going to get a procedure call. No, we're going to get a timeout.
Smart.
Fond du Lac, just in the nick of time, I think.
To me, 4 down territory.
Has
obviously.
to be down 3
Yeah.
scores. Yep, no doubt. So we'll be back at it next week for another Cellcom Varsity Game of the Week live stream as Fox Valley Lutheran's going to host Freedom in a Bay and Northeastern Conference crossover game.
Brett, Mike Lowry wants to know, why are the teams in the wrong spot? Oh, wait.
I'm
just poking fun at you. I'm just poking fun at you.
Easy. Fox is ranked 6th in D3, Irish 10th in D4, both undefeated entering tonight's action with live coverage from Fox Valley Lutheran High School. Kicks off at 6:45 p.m., and you can access our previous Game of the Week live streams on our USA Today Network Wisconsin websites. All you have to do is go to the sports section and scroll down until you see the Watch Our Varsity Game of the Week Prep live streams link. That's going to be a good one next week.
Should be.
I can never keep track of FVL. Sometimes they're in the Bay, sometimes they're in the NEC. Now they're back in the Bay. Rosie's now getting a little cranky about the scoreboard question, too. 3rd down, Williamson. He's got some time.
Going deep
sling
again.
it down. And
Double
let's
cover.
see. Boy, he throws a nice tight spiral. Are we going to get a flag? We do get a flag right before the goal line. It's going to be on Kimberly, Ricardo.
Wow. Well, that's one of the dangers if you're throwing into bracket coverage, that one of the defenders is going to get a little too handsy. It'll be a 15-yard penalty.
And 1st down.
Well, it might be half the yardage. We'll
Pass
see where they put it.
interference, yeah. Fondy fans in front of us, they like that call. And that is a 1st down, moving the sticks.
It'll be at the 12.
That's a big call. And Kimberly, or I should say Fond du Lac now 1st and 10 at the 12. Let's see if the Cardinals can capitalize down 3 touchdowns. Williamson hands off to Henschel. Good run, some good push by that offensive line. Inside the 10 at the 9.
And obviously they can get a 1st down here, Brett, inside the 2. Three carries, 19 yards for Henschel. Second down and 7 from the 9 for Fondy.
Henschel again, and he's in, spins his way. He's in for the score. 9-yard touchdown run, Ricardo, and that's the answer Fond du Lac needed.
Again, that big play, 38-yard pass play to Connor Johnson kind of got them the spark there, Brett, to finish off that drive that started at the 26. 8 plays, 74 yards.
PAT good for Xander Scannell.
An update by Twitter. You can follow me at Ricardo DeLeon, D-E-L-I-A-N. Brett at PC Brett C. Rosie at Metal Rosie.
Now we'll see what Kimberly does after that Fond du Lac touchdown drive. Yeah, that big play. Was that a 3rd down throw? I'm trying to remember now.
I have it right here. Oh, where do I got it? 38. Yes, it was 3rd down play, Brett.
Yeah, and as he was hit, Williamson delivers a pass to Johnson, somehow catches it, and that sets up this touchdown drive. Ricardo, this will be the first time Kimberly's, well, I guess we'll see what happens on the kickoff, but likely the first time Kimberly will have to set up its offense in its own territory. Some very short fields for Kimberly so far tonight. They've capitalized so far, 3 offensive possessions, 3 touchdowns. Line drive. That's picked up by Bell. And it's past the 30, close to the 35-yard line. Looks like the 34. Well, maybe it is at the 35.
Hank DeWild saying, hey, I highly doubt there's a record list for this, but Sawyer Hanlon must be among the all-time leaders in sacks for Kimberly. Led the team in sacks when he wasn't a starter. I could probably ask Coach if they do keep those kind of statistics and those program lists.
Folks, don't worry. We're still on. It's just the crazy light show they have here.
I'm lucky I'm not epileptic.
That's pretty impressive, isn't it? 1st and 10 at the 35. Boy, it's pretty cool here at Fond du Lac. A very good setting here at Cardinal Stadium. Number 14
penalty
with it, and that's coming back.
Well, I think it was a legal shift.
Carter Howard with it. $7:53 to go. I know the clock's a touch off right now, Rosie, on the scoreboard. If we can adjust that, or maybe the camera itself. Kimberly, a playoff participant every season since '06. Every fall season, I guess.
Brett, that was my first year at the Post Crescent, '06.
Mine was '03. We've been around a long time. We're like dinosaurs.
Dinosaurs.
7:45 to go here as Kimberly waits.
Before that, I was a sports editor here in Fond du Lac.
Yeah. How many years were you here?
When did I graduate from UWM? I think it was from 2002 till 2003 until 2006. So 2.5 years, maybe.
Okay. Carmelo Amons, number 1, the senior, bringing down Bell on that carry. 2nd down. Give me some little baseball music.
Second down and 13 from the 32 for Kimberly.
Ellefson now looks, kind of flips the ball, and good tackle.
Yeah, very good tackle.
Howard with the catch, but number 3, Hunter King, the senior defensive back, saving what looked like was going to be a first down pitch and catch. Ball at the 41. Here you go, though. This is a chance, Ricardo, with still 6+ minutes to go in the second quarter for Fond du Lac to get off the field to get that offense back on. Especially after Fond du Lac putting a touchdown in on its last offensive drive. Ellefson at quarterback. Let's see what he wants to do. Bell next to him in the backfield. Ellefson, he's going to look to his right, fires, and it was there, and Cullen took a shot, though. Hopefully he's all right. And Cullen is out, Ricardo. He's down.
Yes. Oh, boy.
Yeah, I hope he's all right. Takes his helmet off. He's kind of looks like he's holding his chest area, maybe. Maybe it's just air knocked out of you type of a thing. Hopefully he's all right. As you can see, Chad Michaelwitz, the Kimberly coach out there to check on his senior wideout. Kaukauna now up 17-0. Oh, I believe that's in Kaukauna too. And good to see Colin up. Looks like he's okay. He'll jog off. That's good. If you're Kimberly, you feel a little snake bit, right? You lose Doucette in week 2, and then you see Ellefson come up slow in the first quarter. Now Colin coming up slow in the second quarter.
Well, you got to give credit to the Fondy defense. Able to hold Kimberly here, and your offense just scored on its last possession. Maybe maybe some of that momentum's turning a little bit, Brett. Oh, that intangible, the momentum.
Momentum. What is momentum, right?
I don't know.
What is it? But
we need Neil deGrasse Tyson here to explain what that might be.
Fond du Lac seems to maybe have it a little bit. High punt.
Kind of a short punt, too.
Yeah, let's see if it takes
it
takes a
takes
big Kimberly bounce inside the 20. Boy,
Wow.
it's still rolling down to about the 17-yard line.
Not what the Cardinals wanted.
17-yard line. On the Cardinals back on offense, first and 10.
Boy, 17 zip over Nina Ricardo. Yeah, you got to. We talked about it last week. Again, we streamed the Kaukauna-Hortonville game in Hortonville. Kaukana's a program now.
Yes.
I mean, they had that nice group that came through. Finley Dorio, the quarterback, 3-year starter, and you think, how is Kaukauna going to respond? And they're responding nicely, and they're taking it to what we feel is a very strong Nina team, a Nina team that could make a deep playoff run itself.
Definitely,
And
Brett.
Kaukauna really making some noise tonight by going up 17 zip over the Rockets. And how about Matt Binsfeld and what he's built at Kaukauna? Williamson hands off. Henschel looking for some space. Number 55 for the Papermakers, though. Tyler Williamson again, the senior linebacker, wrapping up.
5 carries, 30 yards I have for Henschel. Brett, what a big drive this would be if, the Cardinals can somehow get points off this.
Yeah, because it sure was trending to be a rout, right? Let's see, though. See what this Kimberly defense can do in response to that last touchdown march. But Williamson seems to really be settling in, looking confident out there. He's going to step back. He's got all day long. Again, a deep shot downfield. He's got a receiver. Oh,
they're going to call no penalty either. I think who's a number 3 for Kimberly?
Yeah, Landon Van Offeren.
Yeah,
senior defensive back.
He traveled a long way there, Brett. Kind of put his hands up to get in the receiver's face. You're just calling that an incomplete pass.
What's kind of the trend, though, offensively for Fond du Lac when Williamson wants to take a shot downfield? Guess who he's going to? He's going to number 12. Connor Johnson, the intended receiver there, the senior, but good pursuit. And Van Offeren kind of just doing the thing as he's chasing him down, raising his hands, seeing that the receiver was eyeing the football, so he's reading the eyes, reading the face, and just getting his hands up there to kind of knock it away, third down.
I'd like to see more of a mid-range game, though, from the receivers and the routes and the quarterback.
But there's another one again. Nice high rainbow and nearly picked off. Double coverage there. Good job. I think some safety help coming across. 39 and 24. 39 Chris Tao.
It's just you can only go to that so many times.
And Brendan Resch, number 24. But good double team there. You're right, Ricardo. Maybe some crossing stuff, intermediate stuff. And Kimberly holds, so good field position again for this Papermakers unit here as you see Plu and Carter Howard at midfield for this punt. And punting's been a bit of an adventure so far for Fond du Lac. This time a good line drive punt this time. Oh, it takes a nice Fondy bounce. There you go. That's what you needed. Ball will be at the 28-yard line. So there you go. Kind of a line drive it, right? Instead of kicking it high in the air. 53-yard punt is what they're calling it here in the press box. So good kick.
Jim Seha saying, hey, the FBA competition for Kaukauna seems, or I'm thinking for Kimberly seems kind of lousy so far. Well, I wouldn't necessarily say that.
They play who they play.
Yeah.
Kimberly will play Kaukauna and Nina and Appleton North later on in the season. Ellefson back, directing traffic, gives it to Plu. Plu's got a seam. Watch out. Plu's on the run. He's at the 40. I don't know if he's going to be caught. He isn't going to be caught. Ricardo, one play, touchdown run.
72.
72 yards for Plu. Talk about a backbreaker for that Fond du Lac defense. Wow.
Brett, he just hit that rail and was gone. I mean, boy, if you're a running back and see all that green in front of you, you got to be loving it.
Just when we think maybe it's starting to turn, right? You know, Fond du Lac was feeling pretty good, looking pretty good. Defense got the hold, and Kimberly with that home run sprint. We've seen that a few times over the years. Saw it in week 2 when Doucette had the 91-yarder. Hermes is good now. You say a 72-yarder, Ricardo?
Yeah. Brett, Mason Brandt's asking, will you guys be at Kimberly versus Kaukauna? I'll let you answer that, my friend.
It's a good possibility. That's at Kimberly.
Brett's going to do what he can.
One play drive, Ricardo, 72 yards. Keegan Plew with the run. Looking at touchdowns so far. Bell with a 2-yarder. Ellefson with a 7-yarder. Ellefson to Cullen on an 11-yard pass, and now the 72-yard run by Plew. So, Ricardo, 4 different players have scored touchdowns for the Papermakers tonight. Ellefson, Bell, Cullen, and now Plew. (28-7) now. Kimberly with the lead here. 4:27 to go in the second quarter as we look at our Cellcom scoreboard. Ricardo, how do you bounce back from that if you're Fond du Lac?
Well, with a drive. I mean, you got to put together something here now.
Whoa, look at that kick,
no.
and that's a live ball. He's got to scoop that up. Boy, good kick, and when you're kind of – that was all in the kick. I think the returner there, I think he did the right thing. Expecting that ball to skip into the end zone, somehow had the spin to stop about the 2. And by that time, there was not much in the way of running room. That Kimberly return unit coverage team swarming to the football, and they're going to mark it at the 15-yard line. What, Ricardo, what a kick by Hermes, huh? Do you practice something like that on kickoffs?
I don't know.
You put
but
spin
yeah.
on that? How do you just get it to just stop on a dime like it's a wedge shot at the golf course, right? There's nothing doing there. Boy, defense. Raiden Ellefson in on all of that, along with a bunch of his teammates as they drop Bingen.
Who was that again?
Bingen, number 2.
Bingen, okay.
Yeah, for about a 2-yard loss. And 4 minutes to go. Clock continuing to run here in the second quarter. Guys, we're hearing that halftime might be a little bit longer than normal. Maybe we'll run through the commercials twice.
Hey, by the way, Hortonville up over Appleton East 6-0 at the half. And anybody else there that's getting these scores, we'd really appreciate it.
We thought Hortonville had some pieces, too, last week.
I agree.
Quarterback looked good. Williams, oh, geez, Hanlon just
destroyed.
Right off. I mean, he just shoved his guy away and was going to get in Williamson's face. Williamson had to get that out. I think he needed maybe a tick or two more just to kind of set up and wait for that route to really develop, but Hanlon was not having none of that. Just tossed the offensive lineman out of his way. Hanlon, of course, one of Ricardo's elite 11s. You got a couple Kimberly guys, don't you?
Yeah, Hanlon and Ellefson. Another big kind of battle of undefeated teams. Kiel right now leading Brilliant 24-7.
Boy, Kiel looks like the real deal. That's not too far from here either is Kiel, and they always have good athletics there. They have a beautiful facility, turf. Williamson going to swing it over to his left. Ooh, Ellefson there. Oh, and then coming in to help out is number 88, Eli Jansen. Braden Bingen had nowhere to go, 4th down behind the sticks. Kimberly's going to get the ball in great field position again. So any momentum Fond du Lac had after that touchdown drive getting a stop, it's been squelched by Kimberly in all facets right now. Special teams we saw there, and on the kickoff, offense doing its thing now with 4 different players scoring touchdowns, and the defense, except for that one drive, has just been lights out. Oh, good. Beautiful high punt. Look at this one. Fair catch. Spiral. And caught by Carter Howard near midfield. 2:50 to go. Kimberly up 28-7. A chance to put some more points on the board before half as we look at our Cellcom scoreboard.
Ball will be placed right at the 48 of Kimberly. Brett, update on Freedom Little Shoot.
Yeah.
Freedom 21-0.
Yeah. Freedom looks tough, don't they? That's that Little Shoot. That's the battle for the county ensign. That's on the turf as well. I thought Little Shoot might have a bit of a struggle tonight just because they struggled to put away Wapaka last week, and Wapaka seems to be a bit down, and Freedom kind of showing that it seems to be back in the NEC. In fact, I believe FEL is playing Wapaka tonight. Ellison, little play fake. He's going deep downfield, looking for Cullen. Cullen almost with the catch.
Good coverage as well, Brett.
Yeah, number 3, Hunter King, the senior defensive back, going stride for stride with Cullen.
You know, that's tough.
It is.
That's tough when you're a defender and you know that ball's coming. You're watching the receiver. He's looking back. I mean, you got to be really in position to not get called for a penalty, Brett.
Yeah, there's really a fine line, but I thought he did a good job just kind of jumping up as Cullen did as well and just knocking it out. Good coverage, tough catch for Cullen, but credit King with making a play. 2nd down and 10. Like the fact that they took a deep shot, too. Bell next to Ellison. He's going to get it. Looking for some space. Powering his way, but look at number 7 wrestling him down. Amadon, the senior linebacker. Check that Amadon. Clock running here. 3rd down coming up.
Amadon. That sounds like some sort of dinosaur.
Sounds like a linebacker. Sam Amadon. 6'2 senior, 185 pounds.
We got a pack of Amadons on Jurassic Park Island. Kimberly's taking their time getting the play out, Brett. I think they're just working the clock.
Going to take a timeout. And Kimberly will burn its 2nd timeout. We got a question on YouTube, guys. Do we not show halftime?
Do we not show halftime? What does that mean?
Well, we do have sponsor commercials that are expected of us, so we do that. We kind of go over some things as well. You'll see halftime going on. We'll have a camera on the field. But we've got to thank our sponsors for their support and partnership. So 3rd down after that timeout, 3rd and 6. And Ellison, he's got time. What? No, he doesn't have time. Wow. Aiden Kester, the defensive lineman, got through and comes up with the sack. Little pump fake by Ellison. He was looking to his right. But Kester was having none of that, and Ellison sacked. Now Fond du Lac going to take a timeout with 1:48 to go. So the defense for the Cardinals getting off the field.
That was big. You don't want to have them score, Brett, knowing that they get the ball back to start the 2nd half as well.
Yeah, Kimberly kind of thinking about that double dip, right? Trying to get some sort of a score here before half and then opening the 2nd half with the football. Boy, great crowd here tonight. Beautiful crowd. If you've ever been here, or if you haven't been here, Cardinal Stadium, National Exchange Field, all the stands are on one side, and it's a steep climb. Very similar to Nina and its setup now. Hortonville as well. Some steep grandstands behind the home sideline. But I don't know how many this stadium can hold, but it looks like a sellout. Every seat's accounted for. Nice high punt. Fair catch is the call.
And where this field is situated, Brett, it gives it a great opportunity to host
Playoffs.
a state quarterfinal or something like that, and not necessarily of Division I. Go all the way down to Division 6 or whatever, but beautiful field. It can host a lot of fans.
Yeah, it's really nice.
Plenty of parking. There's no issues with that.
Well, what used to be here was just a grass. I don't know if it was a practice field or what it was.
Right.
But again, everything was at Fruth in the city. So good job by the folks here at Fond du Lac to convert this into an on-campus, beautiful stadium. And like Ricardo said, it's built for playoffs. Williamson over the middle. There's your
yes.
Little short pass, kind of on a slant. That's number 4. Adrian Johnson, junior tight end, and quickly to the line as clock's continuing to run. Both teams with one timeout remaining. Williamson looking to the sideline, now looking at his wristband, wait for the play, and now the snap's coming. Williamson now going to his right, and that's Johnson. I think right now Kimberly content, Ricardo, right now just to kind of let Fond du Lac run as much time as they can off the clock, try to keep everything in front of them, obviously, but more importantly, just try to keep them in bounds. That time, good job by Williamson to find Johnson, get out of bounds. Everybody's kind of looking at their wrist bands for the play. Williamson, one last glance at the wristband before he takes his snap. He's got it quickly to the right. There's Johnson looking for a screen, and he gets out of bounds.
It's a first down that takes it all the way to the 42. So gain of 6.
Yeah, it was a soccer field.
First down. Come on, Fondy fans.
I think I do remember that now. Well, I thought they had a soccer complex.
They do have a soccer
around
complex
here as well. Yeah, but I do believe that. Yeah,
it's around here.
Being this soccer field here as well.
By
Williamson.
Marion.
Wow, look at that throw and catch. Johnson, Fond du Lac on the move. Clock stops to reset the chains. And Williamson in a bit of a rhythm here. His clock now winding and running, under a minute to go. Williamson waiting for his guys to get settled in, know the play. And again, Johnson is the receiver. And they're going to let the clock run. I wonder if Fond du Lac's going to want to burn a timeout. Good tackle by number 30 for Kimberly, Spencer Pendleton.
Who caught that?
Johnson again.
Wow, okay.
Clock is running. So Fond du Lac's got to hurry here. Probably want to take a shot downfield or a little bit more intermediate range instead of these short bubble screen type plays. Williamson, guess who? A little bit of a slant. Oh, Johnson's still on his feet. Now they're in field goal range.
And the clock stops.
Yeah, clock stops. Are they going to want to take a timeout, or are they going to get to the line and run another play? Looks like they're going to run another play first. And clock winding up again. Ricardo. And now I think Fondy's got to burn that final timeout.
Okay. Good call. I mean, 17-yard gain there. So first down and 10 at the 21. Britt, and Fondy has, how many timeouts left do they have?
That's it.
Okay, well, this leads to some interesting scenarios here. I mean, you could take a couple shots into the end zone. You could probably do a mid-range shot and get a first down, maybe try to clock it and then take another shot or two.
Did Fondy burn a timeout there? I'm looking at the scoreboards.
Oh, maybe they didn't.
So why did the clock, what happened? What is going on here? Kimberly's going to take a timeout.
Okay. So, yeah, Kimberly now burns a timeout. What was that stoppage for? Not quite sure.
So, Fond du Lac still with the one timeout on the scoreboard here at the field, so we'll keep it on our Cellcom scoreboard. And we're getting word that Nina Star Grant Dean down with a right leg injury.
Oh, that can't be good.
Mm.
Brett, DeAndre Williamson, he has been 6 of 6 on this drive, and 10 of 18 overall, 117 yards.
What's this kid going to be like when he's an upperclassman?
I like him.
Ricardo?
I'm telling you, I like this
Tell ya.
kid.
Yeah.
He's taking his lumps. There's no doubt about it. But we've seen great quarterbacks take their lumps. Remember that Finley Dorio from Kaukauna? He's a 3-year starter, took his lumps sophomore year, and then Kaukauna really ascended under his guidance at quarterback.
Williamson, he usually knows where he wants to go. Now he's on the run.
Got to
Trying
get out of
around,
bounds.
but good pursuit by the Kimberly defense. He does get out of bounds, but really stretching that out, wasting a lot of time, too. 6 seconds remaining. So 3rd down, 6 seconds to go. Williamson had likely a shot at the end zone here, don't you think, Ricardo? Williamson, I think there was movement. That's an incomplete pass there, close. That was number 14 with the catch.
And Brett,
Davis, but I think this is going to be on Fond du Lac. I think there was a little flinch before that snap.
you were wondering what happened on that play where it became a timeout by Kimberly. I think they killed the ball. They spiked it.
They clocked it? Okay.
Because it went from 1st to 2nd down.
Didn't catch that. Okay. Illegal shift against Fond du Lac. Kimberly's going to decline that, and that's going to end the half.
Kaukauna 17-0 at the half. Yeah, Brett, so.
Well, if you're hearing Grant Dean down with a right leg injury, hate to hear that. Thank you, Mason Brandt. They spiked it. That's why the clock stopped. That's what happens when you're jotting notes down, guys. And didn't see the spike of the football. Thought there was a timeout instead. So looks like the official wants a halftime clock to start. All right, guys, halftime here at Cardinal Stadium. And a quick look at our Cellcom scoreboard shows the Papermakers in command here in this Week 4 matchup, leading the Cardinals 28-7. More on tonight's game and everything we have coming up digitally at USA Today Network Wisconsin after this short break.
From the moment we get up, technology is at work in our world. That's why Cellcom built a network to support big moments and small victories. It's technology with a heartbeat.
Promote your business, unite your team, or just get your name out there with help from the professionals at Cooney's Embroidery and Sportswear. Family owned and operated for over 20 years, we have the skills and experience to customize your apparel and spread the word about your business or organization. We can put your logo, name, or anything else you want on any article of clothing. From embroidery and screen printing to graphic design and heat press services, we've got you covered. Call today.
Are you ready for this? Ready to take chances? Will you push and break your limits? Are you ready to be a legend? Are you made for greatness? Writing history? Are you ready for this? Are you ready for this? Want to be a champion? Now to change the system. You start a revolution. This is your moment. Are you ready to fight? What you feel? This is the time for glory, for greatness. Are you ready for this?
Yeah, we them girls, we shout it from the top, top, top. Yeah, we them girls, you know we never stop, stop, stop. And we never ever gonna back down. Yeah, we them girls, we shout it from the top, top, top. Yeah, we them girls, yeah, we them girls, yeah, we them girls.
Welcome back to National Exchange Field, Cardinal Stadium. Look at our Cellcom scoreboard. Kimberly up 28-7. Over Fond du Lac in this Week 4 Fox Valley Association game. Looks like the marching band's getting ready, getting everything set up to maybe catch their act here a little bit, guys. But Ricardo, your first half thoughts?
Well, I think let's start with Fond du Lac. Fond du Lac, when they were, their first 2 drives, I want to say, started inside their 15, and you can't, you can't have your offense start like that, not against this defense, and that kind of led to the 14-0 first quarter deficit. Now it's 28-7. They've been able to move the ball at times, mostly on big plays. You can't sustain an offense that way, though, Brett. You need to have a consistent run game, which they have not been able to do, and also I would like to see this young, talented quarterback. I really like this kid, this DeAndre Williamson.
Yeah.
I'd like to see him operate more in the middle of the field. Now, granted, Kimberly might be taking that away for the most part, except for that final drive where they're just trying to have them eat up the clock. I'd like to see them try to get more, because those are higher percentage passes, correct? You just can't keep going back to that well. You got the one big play down the sideline, but more often than that, you're going to get it picked off or an incompletion, and then you're looking at 3rd and long, and that doesn't help anybody. So that's what I like to see: more consistent offense, high percentage pass plays, and this is crucial, more lanes for the running backs to go through. Now for Kimberly, I think they've been doing a great job so far. Coach Michaelwitz has to be happy with how his team has performed. His defensive line has been very active. They have the one, defensive misplays or whatever that led to Fond du Lac's first drive, or first score, I should say. But other than that, I think they've been pretty much spot on, Brett.
I like the balance that Kimberly has shown offensively. 4 different players with touchdowns. And we talked about it on the 920 Sports podcast. Where people can find that, Ricardo, where?
Oh, yes, on Stitcher, Google Play, or in iTunes.
That's you, me, and Rosie talking.
We talked about this game.
But we talked about Kimberly's offense, and could they develop into a little bit more of a passing threat? And I think we're seeing that. We saw that last week where Ellefson and Cam Wong combined and really had a nice night through there. Now we're seeing some different things maybe being implemented as the season goes along to not make them so one-dimensional, and make them have to honor Kimberly's passing game. And I think that's just going to continue to develop as the season goes on. But, yeah, Fond du Lac, again, you can't give a team like Kimberly such a short field. So, hey, we got some, not only the marching band guys, but we got a little vocalist down there. Let's can we listen to this for a few moments?
Yeah, let's be quiet. Let's shut up a little bit here.
All right, the Fond du Lac marching band, kind of
I
cool.
was digging that trombone solo.
Yeah, I like the fact that they put a little stage out there too.
They should, more bands should do that.
Yeah, it's pretty.
Some more stuff here.
Some theatrics there. I like it.
And very cool. Brett, I was a very average athlete in high school, but one thing I was very good at, band.
Yeah, I was in band too.
I was a trombonist, and I'm not ashamed to say that I was all-state trombones. I had to travel to Madison to play in the all-state band my junior and senior years.
What'd you play? Trombone?
I was first chair. Let me kind of tell you a
There
little
you
funny story.
go.
My junior year, going into my senior year, I completely shrugged it off because I was in like Legion ball, and there was a couple people who were there the following year. Boy, they were not happy.
Yeah.
They were like, "Oh, you're the guy who just kind of shrugged off. You were our first chair." I'm like, "Yeah, I was playing in a tournament or something," and they were really what really ticked them off is I was first chair again the following year, and I didn't practice the music because I was in other things doing. I mean, and I was able to pick it up though because I could sight read really well. But yeah, that's what I remember from being in those all-state bands. That was fun though.
I played baritone.
Ooh, baritone's cool.
Yeah. It was fun.
I did that too. I played baritone in brass choir.
Makes you more well-rounded. It's music, right? Everybody
I
loves
loved
music.
it. I
so-
loved. Did you march as well? Did you
Yeah,
really
we had to
in-
march,
Oh, that's
yeah.
fantastic.
Yeah.
And Stevens Point must have had a big one. They must have had a big band.
Yeah, and of course, you do all the stuff. And competitions and everything. It was fun.
We didn't have anything this cool.
No,
though.
this is pretty nice. So anyway,
I think we should let them play, Brett.
well, is this okay, Rosie?
Oh, do we gotta do our promos, Rosie?
Well, I always wonder
Oh,
about
right.
like the copyright
Oh,
stuff.
the copyright,
I
yeah.
always get a little nervous about
So you're
that.
not hearing that right now. but-
That's why we're talking.
yeah.
But anyway, guys, things coming up. We have our Packer show.
Yes. Why don't you go ahead and do that, Brett, and then I'll follow with some of the high school stuff we got going on.
Yeah, so Mondays, that's our Clubhouse Live show. It takes place at the Fox Club inside Neuroscience Group Field at Fox City Stadium in Grand Chute, home of the Wisconsin Timber Rattlers. The Western Division champion, Wisconsin Timber Rattlers. Rattlers playing now in the Midwest League Championship Series, so good luck to them. But you can hang out with us at the Fox Club Mondays at 6:30 throughout the season. Gates open at 5 o'clock. Admission is free. We had Kenny Clark on this past week. We opened it up Labor Day night with Pro Football Hall of Famer and Packers great Leroy Butler. That was fun. This week we got Romeo Dobbs. He's going to be our special guest on Monday's show, and we'll be looking back at that Packers-Colts game. Very interesting game coming up at Lambeau Field. But again, it's free admission. Food is available for purchase, drink, all that stuff. You can register to win some great prizes. And we think it's the best Packers show around. We've been having some fantastic crowds, both in-house and online. You can't make the show in person. You can watch it on any of our USA Today Network Wisconsin websites, Facebook pages. That includes Clubhouse Live and Packers News and our USA Today Network Wisconsin YouTube channel. So if you can't make it, you can always watch it online, chime in, ask some questions. Ricardo's monitoring the live chat. I'm co-hosting it. But looking forward to hanging out with Romeo Dobbs on Monday night, one of the Packers' offensive playmakers. So it should be a good time as well. And hopefully there's a Packers win to talk about, guys.
Brett, what we got coming up, well, this past Wednesday, we welcomed the Xavier, two-time defending WIA Division II state champion Xavier girls volleyball team. They paid us a visit over there at the round table. For those of you in Fond du Lac who aren't familiar with it, it's the only online high school sports talk show in the state. Every Wednesday, 7 o'clock. I host it. Brett helps out, and Rosie does with the production end of it. Brett specifically taking some of the live interactive questions, and we kind of highlight some of the best teams and players in our area. Again, Xavier, two-time defending state champ, coming off the big win over Fox Valley Lutheran. Brett, they were fun to have on the show, and you can catch that again every Wednesday at 7 o'clock. And then I'd like for you, and Brett mentioned it during the first half, tune into our podcast. So please download that, give it a listen. It's the only podcast dedicated to high school sports in the Valley. We talked about this game, talked about several other games in the Valley. Maybe give our thoughts on top contenders, I guess I could say. Also touched a little bit on volleyball. And we also, kept it with some pro talk, too, with with the Brewers and the Packers, and also talked a little Badgers as well. Brett, they got a little game coming up against Alabama.
11 o'clock kickoff.
Ooh.
That's not going to be good for the student section.
What time will they be down by 2 or 3 touchdowns? Do you think that'll be noon or maybe 12:15, 12:30? Rosie, when do you think? No, well, I'm just saying down by 2 or 3 touchdowns, Wisconsin, by halftime. 3 by half. Listen, I'm holding out hope that they pull a little miracle and they actually play Bama. Now, Bama doesn't have the Emperor anymore, Emperor Palpatine. Oh, I'm sorry, Nick Saban.
Nick Saban.
So, maybe there's a glimmer of hope there, Brett, in that respect. So.
Well, remember I said on the podcast, I thought it's going to be a close game because
did.
the Badgers always seem to rise to these type of games. I think they'll lose, but they always seem to play these games where you think they're going to get blown out, and next thing you know, they're in a battle there in the second half.
And 2 more things. Rosie, last Friday, just put together the Terrific 10 all-area girls volleyball team. I should say top seniors to watch. Let's look at it that way. And this year, we went to 12 because a couple of the players got injured right before we shot the photo. We had the photo video shoot, so I included them in it. I felt it would have been too cruel to have them not be a part of it. So I included them in. So for the first time, it's 12 players. There's a separate story to read about that, by the way. Xavier's Annika Kowalski, Hortonville's Molly Fisher. Both those are going to Big East teams, Brett. One's going to Marquette. The other's going to Georgetown. And, Brett, I hope you don't have epilepsy.
I'm good.
Okay. Because we're having the flashing lights here.
That's pretty cool.
It is.
It's amazing how those lights can. Remember, lights back in the day, if you turn them off, it would take a long time to get
those
fired back on.
They do a great job here in Fond du Lac. Look at the kids running out here. Also, our Elite 11 football team, which Kimberly has 2 players on, Sawyer Hanlon and Braden Ellison. That's the top collection of senior football players in the Appleton and Green Bay coverage areas. So please check that out to postcrescent.com or greenbaypressgazette.com.
And then next Friday night, week 5, we're going to be at Fox Valley Lutheran High School in Appleton. The Fox is going to host the Irish. Fox is ranked in the top 10 in D2. Division 3. Irish ranked in the top 10 in D4. Both undefeated going into tonight's action. That should be a great game. A Bay Conference, Northeastern Conference crossover. And we will go live at 6:45 p.m., so definitely check that out. Can't be FEA, FRCC every week, guys. We've got to give the Northeastern Conference and the Bay a little love as well. I know, Ricardo, you were very high on that Fox's team because you saw them take down Xavier in the Apple Bowl.
And I just love their quarterback, Pappendorf. The kid is just a gunslinger. He goes out there. You can just feel the confidence in this kid, Brett. He's just unfurling 40-yard, 45, 50-yard bombs. One of his favorite receivers is that Nick Martin, who's a big, lengthy receiver. They're going to be fun to watch, Brett. I really like what I see from them. But, hey, Freedom, Drew Courts, he doesn't take a backseat to anybody.
Well, you said they're handling Little Chute tonight in the county end game.
He's having a heck of a year. And Freedom, a little bit of a down year last year, but traditionally they've always been there in terms of lengthy postseason runs.
Yeah.
So that's going to be a fun game to watch. And now you also have to pay attention to where these two teams are division-wise. Tentatively right now, FBL's a Division III team. Freedom's a Division IV team. So they would not play each other in the postseason if things – you never know how many teams are going to make the Division I field, so it's kind of dependent on that, Division II, and then whoever else is slotted. In the divisions under that. So still an interesting game, interesting rivalry because FEL's back. No, FEL's in the Bay.
Yeah.
Freedom's in the Northeastern.
I know.
I forget it. I'm not even going to pay attention.
It must count in the conference standings.
It's a
right?
crossover.
Yeah. And sometimes FBL's in the NEC, then they're back in the Bay, and then they're back in the NEC, and now they're back in the Bay. So I don't know. But hey, guys, it's still halftime here at National Exchange Field at Cardinal Stadium. Let's run those commercials again, Rosie, and we'll come back, give the first half scoring, and get ready for the second half after this short break.
From the moment we get up, technology is at work in our world. That's why Cellcom built a network to support big moments and small victories. It's technology with a heartbeat.
Promote your business, unite your team, or just get your name out there with help from the professionals at Cooney's Embroidery and Sportswear. Family owned and operated for over 20 years, we have the skills and experience to customize your apparel and spread the word about your business or organization. We can put your logo, name, or anything else you want on any article of clothing. From embroidery and screen printing to graphic design and heat press services, we've got you covered. Call today.
for this? Who wants to be a champion? Now to change the system. You start a revolution. This is your moment. Are you ready to fight? To rebuild this? This is the time for glory, for greatness. Are you ready for this?
Yeah, we them girls, we shout it from the top, top, top. Yeah, we them girls, you know we never stop, stop, stop. And we never ever gonna back down. Yeah, we them girls, we shout it from the top, top, top. Yeah, we them girls, yeah, we them girls, yeah, we them girls.
Welcome back again to National Exchange Field, Cardinal Stadium. We're on the campus of Fond du Lac High School. We look at our Cellcom scoreboard. Kimberly up 28-7 here at halftime. Halftime, a very lengthy halftime, coming to a close here shortly. I'm Brett Christopherson, hanging out with Ricardo Arguello, Jim Rosandick, all with USA Today Network Wisconsin. This is week 4, our Cellcom Varsity Game of the Week live stream. And guys, again, let's thank our sponsors, Cellcom and Cooney's Embroidery and Sportswear. For a limited time at Cellcom, every phone is on sale or free for new and existing customers. The choice is yours, so stop in or shop online at cellcom.com. And Cooney's, they have the skills and experience to customize your apparel and spread the word about your organization. Visit them online at Cooney'sEmbroiderySportswear.com.
Brett, you know, some of the commenters on YouTube were talking about great defense, and they mentioned that great defense from 2021 from Appleton North.
Yeah.
I agree. Is that the one that unfortunately fell to Mr. Burkett? Was that the year?
No, that was pre-COVID, wasn't it?
2021 wasn't pre-COVID. 2020.
No, that team.
Oh, was it? I don't think it was.
For some reason, I want to say 2019, but maybe not.
Yeah, because Burkett.
But didn't Franklin and Muskego play in the state championship game that year?
I think they might have. But Burkett, he only played a year or two at Wisconsin. Then he's already in the transfer portal. So that would time out right.
Maybe.
2024. JJ, you might have to remind us.
Everything runs together. Hey, first half scoring, a touchdowns, a 7-yard run by Braden Ellefson, a 2-yard run by Brady Bell, a 11-yard hookup between Ellefson and Aaron Cullen, and then the 72-yard run by Keegan Plew. Those are the 4 touchdowns for Kimberly. As for Fond du Lac, a 9-yard touchdown run by number 44, Mason Henschel. That was at the 8:04 mark in the second quarter, and that's where we have it, 28-7. Kimberly with the halftime lead as we look at our Cellcom scoreboard. And it looks like more time has been put on the clock.
Run the ads again.
We might have to one more time. I don't know, but that is a long, long halftime show here. But yeah, the principal here I was talking about, Dave Mickelkavich, previously the athletic director here. As I said, I covered him when he was a high school standout at St. Mary Central back then, now St. Mary Catholic. He had Robert Mickelkavich, Jordan Mickelkavich. I mean, they're all good athletes. Sister, too, I want to say Brandy Mickelkavich. I'm thinking that's
There's
right.
a whole mess of Mickelkavich.
But apparently he is down the line, have some relation to Kimberly head coach Chad Michaelwitz. But they're just pronounced differently. But it's down the line. I was just asking Dave about that tonight before the game, and he's like, yeah, it's down the line, and the names are said differently, but Dave Mickelkavich, Chad Michaelwitz, but that's Michalkiewicz. I can remember that because I had to type that name in so many times back then when Dave and his brothers and sister were athletes at SMC, so I've always remembered that name.
Well, you know what's interesting is this has nothing to do with that, but you can see how sometimes how to pronounce a name or even a city gets lost in translation or it's not done correctly. I'm going to say this because there are some cities in Wisconsin that are not pronounced correctly. The one I want to say is Rio.
Oh.
That's obviously after Rio,
Right.
as in the Spanish, Rio, the Spanish word for river.
Yeah.
But then instead of just calling it Rio, it's Rio. Another one is, and for good reason, I'm guessing this was done right around World War II, but,
Yeah.
but Berlin is Berlin.
Yeah.
For obvious reasons. But there's a couple other ones too that I was thinking that they're pronounced differently because I don't think the people knew how to pronounce them at first.
I've said Berlin so many times. I look at the German city and I want to call it Berlin instead of Berlin.
Yeah, right. Oh,
Well,
more light
some
show.
people have problem saying Fond du Lac. I've had a lot of people mess up my last name. In fact, a lot of people call me Chris
Christy.
because my last name is Christopherson, and they don't.
Christopherson.
In fact, I look back and think all these years later, you're still calling me Chris. How can that be?
I'll tell you this much. I've lost count of how many times they've spoken my last name. Some of the more popular ones have been Aguilera. Not even close. I'm not Christine's dad. Christina's dad.
JJ says Franklin won it all in 2021, so you're right, Ricardo. Kimberly in 22, Marquette last year. So there you go. It was 21. So it was post-COVID, yeah.
Is that Hank?
That was JJ on our YouTube
JJ.
chat.
Thank you,
Yep.
JJ.
But then 18 and 19 were Muskego. And the 18 Muskego beat Kimberly. Kimberly was going for a 6th straight title that year.
Yeah, that was the best North team I've seen, and
Oh.
it's unfortunate that they fell. They led that game. Remember that, Brett?
We were there streaming
Yeah.
at the state semifinals at J.J. Keller Field up at UW Oshkosh. I don't know if we're going to ever have a game there again. It seems like they kind of moved them out. Remember last year's state
I'm okay with
semifinal
that.
was at Sun Prairie.
Nothing against the Titan Stadium, but boy, what's
Bank of Sun Prairie Stadium at
Yes.
Ashley Field or something.
Beautiful facility, Brett, and I was really happy to go there. More than happy to go there for another semifinal.
And you were there for the state lacrosse championships as well in the spring.
I was extremely happy.
Yeah, we'll see. We thought for sure last year's Kimberly Marquette semifinal was going to be at Oshkosh, and instead they scheduled it at Sun Prairie, and we took that trip down there for the first time, and we were floored by that setup down there. Beautiful. Well, all right, here we go. Second half underway.
Is that Plow?
Blue. But big moment, really, Ricardo, for both sides, right? I mean, this is a chance. Kimberly starts the second half with a football, already up 3 scores. Kind of really put your foot on the throat and take full command of this one. And I don't want to say ice it, but it would kind of up 4 scores. That's a tall hill to climb for Fond du Lac, but a chance to get off the field and get that quarterback back on the field who's been playing well as a sophomore and doing some good things. And was moving the ball before time expired there in the first half. Let's see if Ellison can get cooking, and there's a nice throw and beautiful catch, spinning his way for the first down. Nice play. Carter Howard with showing the good hands there. And Ricardo, I like to see Ellison. I like that. Get him going in the passing game and get him in that rhythm and really have that Fond du Lac defense on its heels, because we've already seen what they can do on the ground.
Gain of 12, and that's what, again, you brought this up, Brett. We want to see that passing game develop. You're going to need that once you get into the postseason for sure, and against some other FBA teams as well.
Yeah, so really become dynamic and mix it up. Now it's going to be Plu, and there's nothing going for Plu, and that's number 30 celebrating after that hit. That's check that. That's Guardian Harris, sophomore linebacker. 6'3", 200 pounds. Loss of, no, check that. There's just no gain for Plu on that run. Remember, Plu had the 72-yard sprint to the end zone with 4:27 to go in the second quarter. Made it 28-7, where we are at now as we look at our Cellcom scoreboard.
And I have him with 7 carries for 82 yards.
Ellison, he's got time. No, he doesn't. Now he's on the run. He's going to have to get rid of it. Can't. Somehow, he took a pretty hard hit, incomplete pass. And Ricardo, the strength of Ellison right there to somehow stay on his feet. Looked like he was going to be dropped and able to just get it, throw it away. 3rd and 10, a lot better than 3rd and about 16, 17, 18 yards.
Is it Lavaca who was trying to get him down, Brett?
Rhett Lavaca.
He's not gonna miss too many of those sacks like that. Body secondary trying to get the crowd worked up here. Big play here. 3rd 10 from the 49.
Ellison just going to hand it to Plu. Dives forward. Looks like number 95, one of those guys in on it quickly. Ty Pate, number 7. Sam Amadon also celebrating. And, hey, Fond du Lac gets off the field.
What they needed.
Now, field position's going to be a little tight, but it's better than giving up a touchdown if you're trying to get back into this one. But a great chance here, a great opportunity to play field position for Kimberly. Let's see if they can pin the Cardinals inside the 10. Hermes, he's got a great leg. Nice high punt, spiral, fair catch. Nope, they're going to let it bounce. And it's going to, well, let's see. I think that's a touchback.
Well, they're counting it at the 1.
Oh, they're going to say at the 1. Wow, I thought he slid into the end zone. Great job by Kimberly. Didn't look like he went into the end zone with it.
I thought he did too.
Where are they going to mark this?
Are they talking about
They
it?
might be talking about it. Let's see.
No, they're going to place it at the 1.
Wow.
I thought he slid in, but
Well, we got a tough angle, too, but it did look like it from our angle. But, hey, that official's, he's right there following it all the way. So, great punt again by Hermes. Great kick. He had that great kickoff that just stopped at the 2. That was a live ball. So, special teams doing some pretty good stuff for Kimberly here tonight, especially in that kicking game. And a good job swarming that ball before it skipped into the end zone. Look at this. 1st and 10 on its own 1 is Fond du Lac to start this drive. Yikes. Williamson, he's going to chuck it, going deep downfield. There's some contact, and wow! Johnson with another acrobatic catch. With 2 guys on him, Ricardo.
again, he just threw that up there and knew that his guy would out-jump the 2 defenders.
How many catches and yards does Johnson have? It's basically when Williamson drops back, he's looking for number 12.
I'll count that up, Brett, but you got to give me some time here.
Yeah, because there's a lot. Well, that gets you out of trouble. Is that a 31-yard toss?
Yes.
Williamson.
5 receivers set, Brett.
Yeah, Williamson's going to run this time. He's got a lane, and he's got speed.
He's got
near
wheels.
sideline. He does. Can he outrun this Kimberly defense? No, but look at this. 2 plays from their own 1, the Cardinals, now on the Kimberly 30-yard line. Looks like maybe he stepped out actually at the 32.
36-yard run there. Brett, you see what they were trying to do there. Spread them all out, then let your quarterback, use the speed, use the athleticism, get a big play.
So that's 67 yards in 2 plays.
It is, Brett. Wow, look at that Stevens Point.
Hey, I got some wheels in my head.
You got the internal abacus.
Maybe that's why they call me Wheels.
Because you're so good at math.
The wheels in my head are turning fast. Here goes Williamson. He's going to keep it again. And this time a whole bunch of those white jerseys swarming Williamson, but he picked up a couple. Yeah, JJ, as I mentioned, Timber Rattlers playing on Sunday, game 1 of the Midwest League Championship Series. They're going to take on the Lake County Captains, an affiliate of the Cleveland Guardians.
They came back to win that game.
Yeah, the Timber Rattlers did, yeah,
Yep.
to beat Quad Cities. 3rd down coming up. Good stuff there at Fox City Stadium. I saw last night they had like 4,400 fans, a playoff record, single-game playoff record for Wisconsin. Of course, it helps when it's a beautiful evening, too. Got some good players, young Brewers prospects on the Timber Rattlers. So good luck to the T-Rats. Final home game of the season, Sunday at Neuroscience Group Field at Fox City Stadium. That's where our home is for Clubhouse Live every Monday night. Williamson going to keep it. Nothing there. Wow. Guess who? Big old number 90, one of your Elite 11 players, Sawyer Hanlon. 6'3", 250-pound senior defensive lineman. 4th down coming up. Fond du Lac will go for it.
Oh, that's tough on a 3rd and short, and you lose a couple yards, Brett.
Why not just chuck it from Williamson to Johnson, right? 13-12.
Well, it's worked.
It's worked a ton so far. Where is Johnson lined up? He's going to be far side, split wide. Keep an eye on him. Number 30 for the Papermakers, Spencer Pendleton. Tough task. Williamson running. He's going to go downfield. Guess who he's looking for? Almost a one-handed grab by Johnson. Johnson looking back. Maybe thinking he should have wanting a flag, perhaps, but pretty good coverage by Pendleton.
That
Ricardo.
would have been a sensational catch. Wow.
I don't want to say, doesn't it get a little easy when you know who the quarterback is just going to continue to target, though?
Right.
But they've made some sensational catches in coverage and with pressure on top of that. So I guess that takes the, quote, easiness out of it when they're making plays. They're not wide open plays by any means. But Kimberly's defense holds, and 6:52 to play. The Papermakers up 28-7 as we look at our Cellcom scoreboard. Bell, direct snap. Just following his blockers, finding that running lane, and pretty good chunk of yards there on that first down run.
Tackled by number 30, Guardian Harris, number 11, Peyton.
I have Connor Johnson unofficially now. 8 catches, 129 yards. Brett.
8 catches for 129.
That's
Wow.
just unofficial again.
That sounds about right. This time, Plew with it. Ooh, big hard tackle by number 34. Guess who? Rhett Lavaka, the 6'5", 240-pound standout senior linebacker. But it's a first down run, Ricardo. Chains move.
10 carries, 94 yards I have for Plew.
10 for 94.
Mm-hmm.
Now Bell in the direct snap. He takes it looking left. And a big, strong hit by number 7 this time, Sam Amadon. We called his name plenty tonight.
Was that
That was Bell.
Bell on the carry? Thank you, thank you.
You got it.
3 yards.
We may be a 3-man crew, but we don't miss much.
We try not to. We do our best, you know.
I missed that clock spike there at the. It's tough.
But that's where our viewers help us out.
Yeah, we
we
appreciate that.
appreciate you guys out there watching.
It gets really tough for basketball when the action really picks up. This time Ellefson, he's going to keep it. Wow, look at him run. Oh, boy.
Oh, boy.
Oh, boy, Ellefson. Did you see him zig and zag his way through there? 60-yard run. Ellefson with the score. Just kind of reading that lane, reading his blocks, finding the running lane, and once he got in that second level, all that green turf in front of him, he was gone.
Brett, zigging and zagging, I think you described it pretty much spot on. And he was very patient. Waited for that hole to develop there off the left side because I think he wanted to go off the right side, Brett, but able to find that lane and take it to the house. You know, people underestimate that he's a pretty fast kid as well.
Another explosive touchdown for the Papermakers. A 60-yard run, and that's what we have, right, Ricardo?
Yep.
60-yard touchdown dash. Hermes on for the PAT. Good job by the holder, and that one sails through. Let's give some credit to Reed Lindenberg on the hold, making sure he got it down for Hermes, who bangs it through. And with 5:05 to play here in the third quarter, we look at our Cellcom scoreboard. Kimberly now in complete command, up 4 scores, leading 35-7. Yeah, looking at that's the second touchdown run of the night by Ellefson. He also has a 7-yarder. And then, of course, the 60-yarder we just saw, and the previous touchdown in the second quarter, Keegan Plew with a 72-yard sprint to the end zone.
Brett, PMH 0359 says, hey, the reason why Rio is pronounced the way it is because at one time they were Ohio, which is a weird name for a city. The post office made them change their name, and the postmaster changed it to Rio. My brother and family live there. That seems really odd.
They used to that town used to be called Ohio.
Ohio?
Oh, interesting.
Hey, thank you for that, PMH.
Always
Now,
learning stuff, right?
I'm trusting that that's true.
Now
I've never heard that story.
Let's see if we can use that little nugget sometime throughout the season.
Okay.
We're gonna try to figure that out.
Okay.
Maybe on our Clubhouse Live show. Hard to pronounce Wisconsin cities. That'd be one of our games we play on our Clubhouse Live challenge. Or we could maybe you could use it during a varsity roundtable show.
That's crazy.
It is. Kickoff to Johnson. Papermakers there to wrap him up.
Our viewers are really with it. I'll tell you that right now, Brett. I really like hearing feedback from them. So you guys keep on giving us these little nuggets.
They're part of our crew.
Yeah,
They're
you
part of
are.
our
You are
crew.
every part of this crew as we are.
Even the person who complained about the scoreboard placement is part of our crew. All right?
I missed that one. Can you do that one again?
Just to reiterate, our scoreboard that you see on the screen matches the scoreboards here at the stadium because we are a three-person crew.
Don't start
I-
kind of picking on Brett there.
No, nobody's. I'm fine. We've explained this numerous times. But then I can quickly glance at the scoreboard there, and then glance at our scoreboard, and everything's kind of.
Brett just doesn't want to make a mistake, and I love it.
I want to make sure it's all accurate and that everybody knows what the score is. That's all. Hand off.
Ooh,
Look
use
at
a rail here.
that jet sweep. Some good running room there by Braden Bingen.
Braden Biggin, the ball carrier. Number 8, Connor Olson. Number 24, Fernando Resch. And the tackle.
Hurry up offense here for Fond du Lac.
Yeah, down 4 scores. Good sense of urgency, and they were doing some good things at the end of the first half when they were kind of in hurry up mode. So maybe they can get into a little bit of a rhythm and put another score on the scoreboard here. Williamson going to keep it. Number 3 for the Papermakers, Van Offeren with the tackle. Fond du Lac coach Sam Pluker, he's in his 3rd season guiding the Cardinals. He had been an assistant with Fond du Lac previously.
Kimberly player.
2015 graduate of Kimberly, where he was a 3-year starter, 3-year Leonard winner, 2-year starter at linebacker. Played on those Papermakers state title teams in 13 and 14. Coach Pluker also served as assistant coach at UW Oshkosh before joining Fond du Lac. Williamson
That's a good
wrestled
tackle.
down. Yep, 3rd down coming up. Also want to give a shout out to former Fond du Lac star Braden Allen. He's in his rookie NFL season with the New York Jets, selected 4th in the 4th round by the Jets in this past spring's NFL draft. And after this next play, Braden Allen made a little NFL history in Week 1 against the San Francisco 49ers.
Yes, he did.
So already making his mark in the NFL record books. Quick pass to Johnson. Oh, what a move by Johnson. Gets the 1st down. He would have been dropped down. Hanlon there on the tackle. But Johnson, boy, he is a good-looking wide receiver. But Allen making NFL history in that Week 1 loss to San Francisco, the Monday Nighter. He became the youngest player in the Super Bowl era to gain a yard in a regular season game. Just 20 years old. Allen with 1 carry for 8 yards and then 1 catch for 9 yards in limited action against the 49ers. How about that?
That game between him at Fond du Lac at Kimberly in that COVID weird season
Spring
was
of
one of the
21.
most incredible games I've ever witnessed.
Yeah, I've got a note on that. We'll kind of, unfortunately, Kimberly fans, we have to relive that, but it was incredible. Kimberly had an offensive performance for the ages, too, that night.
Yes, they did. Oh, boy.
It's like a penalty going to be on Fond du Lac, I'm sure. Yeah, it was in the 2021 alternate spring season. Braylon Allen and Kyle Waljasper, of course, the quarterback who's, by the way, Kyle Waljasper, he's doing really good work at Minnesota Duluth. Currently a redshirt quarterback for the Bulldogs. Coming off a great 2023 when he ran for nearly 1,100 yards and 16 rushing touchdowns. Ricardo, he almost threw for 1,600 yards last year as well.
Dual threat.
Second team all-conference mention, but he threw for 312 yards and 4 touchdowns in the Bulldogs' 35-7 win over Northern Michigan on August 29th to open the season. But, yeah, he and Allen were teammates on that Fond du Lac team in the alternate spring season of 2021, and we'll kind of rehash or relive that incredible game here after this play. Is Williamson, pump fake.
Got to get rid of it.
He does, and, boy, look at his speed, though. But good pursuit by number 55 for the Papermakers, chasing him down. Tyler Williamson, Ricardo, very good-looking senior linebacker for the Papermakers. He's in on a lot of plays. But, yeah, 71-47 victory in Kimberly in the finale. I guess the kind of the championship, quasi-championship game that season, that spring season.
I thought it was.
A game we streamed. Well, that was the championship, but Waljasper, 306 yards rushing and 5 touchdowns. Allen, 278 yards and 4 touchdowns Fond du Lac, 606 yards of rushing offense that night against the Papermakers. There's a throw to number 4, Adrian Johnson, the tight end. Allen, he averaged 23.2 yards per carry that night, while Wall Jasper 20.4 yards per carry. Now check this out. Wall Jasper had scoring runs of 55, 54, 44, 44, and 50 yards. Allen had touchdown runs of 66, 33, 47, and 48 yards.
And that was a pretty good Kimberly defense, if I remember.
Yeah, I remember Kimberly put up 47 points. Bingham the run. The two teams generated 1,328 yards of offense. Fond du Lac finished with 689 yards and Kimberly 639.
Kimberly's running back was Frazier, right?
Caleb Frazier. Remember, both teams were they were going back and forth.
It was.
Then I want to say, didn't Fond du Lac onside kick it and got it back, and that maybe kind of triggered their ability to sort of pull away. I'd never seen anything like it. It was unbelievable. A big crowd that night. That was at Appleton East High School, Pickett Field. And again, that was kind of the championship. Remember, they sort of merged the FEA and the FRCC for that spring season after many of the fall schedules were called because of the COVID pandemic. But yeah, that was an incredible, incredible game.
I think Williamson came out.
Equipment issue. I think if the helmet comes off, you always have to come off the field, right? Any sort of equipment issue. Yeah, it looks like he's all right down there. It's a good shot from Rosie on the
good job, Rosie.
Sideline. Yep. But Fond du Lac on the move. Looks like Johnson is going to take the snap here for the Cardinals. And a little toss to number 14, Xavion Davis. And it looks like, guys, that could be the final play of the third quarter.
Someone down there?
And that is the final play of the third quarter. As we look at our Cellcom scoreboard, Kimberly 12 minutes away from improving to 3-0 on the season. The top-ranked team leading Fond du Lac 35-7 in our Cellcom Varsity Game of the Week live stream. Again, we have a great deal on a digital subscription, $1 for 6 months. Unlimited digital access, just $1, guys. I know it doesn't sound like a whole lot, but it goes a long way in just helping us continue to produce these Game of the Week live streams. So please become a subscriber. You get, for the next 6 months, free access to everything, all the great stuff that Ricardo and Mike Sherry are putting together sports-wise. Take you right through the high school football or basketball season as well.
Jim Eastman says, how about a shout-out to former Kimberly papermaker A.J. Klein, retired
Yes.
not too long ago after 11 years in the NFL.
What a career, huh? Was he with the Saints and the Bills?
Panthers,
yep.
He had a cup of tea with my Chicago Bears. I know that for a little bit, a few weeks.
Fun if you had a cup of tea with the Pack.
That never
Hometown
happened,
team.
though, did it?
No, but boy, what a career. What a career.
Thank you, Jim.
Yeah, good call, Jim. A.J. Klein. Williamson, he's back in. Oh, he's down. And, oh, boy, big, tough hit.
No, they had called him down, even though he fumbled.
Eli Jansen bringing down Williamson. Jansen, a 6'3" junior defensive end. We called his name earlier when he had the strip sack that gave the Papermakers, what was that, field position at about the 15-yard line, something like that? Yeah. So third down behind the sticks are the Cardinals. And Williamson, well, he's on the run again, gets rid of it to, is that Henschel and the flat. Good pursuit by number 42, Jackson Diedrich, a 5'10", 205-pound junior linebacker. chasing down Mason Henschel, the junior running back. So 4th down, and Fond du Lac going to have to go for it, down 4 scores.
Tough situation for Fond du Lac, Brett.
Well, he's going to throw it downfield, and I think he's going to probably look to, no, he's going to, some miscommunication there. He was looking to his favorite target, Connor Johnson, I'm sorry. Thinking of Tyler Johnson, I think he's the old
Menasha quarterback.
Yeah, Connor Johnson, but some miscommunication there, throwing behind Johnson, so turnover on downs. Kimberly up 35-7, and with the ball on the Fond du Lac 35. JJ, he's already calling San Fran and Baltimore in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I saw that.
Not a bad guess.
First down and 10 from their own 35. Papermakers.
Bell now with it. Fakes it to Plu, and Bell, he's on the run outside, breaking some tackles, diving to midfield. Kimberly has advanced to the state quarterfinals in each of its past 11 playoff appearances. Last time the Papermakers fell short of that level was 2011 when they fell in the second round. Kimberly has advanced to the state semifinals in 12 of its past 16 playoff appearances. Of course, the Papermakers have won 8 state titles and have appeared in 10 championship games. As we talk about the incredible success of this Kimberly football program for years now. Oh, Plu with a nice run. Start to say decades.
It's getting there, isn't it?
Well, if you date back to the 2013 season, so we're talking, 11 years ago, Kimberly's record since that time, 136-8. 136 wins and just 8 losses since the 2013 season, a .944 winning percentage.
I think that's good.
That includes 6 state titles, 7 state title game appearances, and a state record 70-game winning streak. And those 8 titles in 10 state championship appearances dates back to the 07 season. So you're talking 17 years ago. Of course, Kimberly has won or shared 10 straight fall conference championships, fall season, because I don't know quite how to refer to that alternate spring season, Ricardo, but Papermakers shared the FVA title last season with Kaukauna. They've also won or shared 15 of the last 17 fall season league crowns. And it just keeps going from Steve Jorgensen to Steve Jones to now Chad Michaelwitz, who is off to a fantastic start in his 3rd season with the Papermakers. Plu diving forward, doing a little of a
flag
hurdle move. Is that going to be a hold?
I thought I saw some laundry. Oh, maybe not.
No,
okay.
I don't think so. At the 31-yard line. Chad Michaelwitz, 25-3 so far in his 3rd season. Previously coached at De Pere, 11 seasons there. But how about that, 25-3, about to move to 26-3. So Steve Jorgensen really set the foundation for this, winning a couple state titles back in 07, 08, and then made it to the state title game in 09. I want to say, and those watching online can correct me if I'm wrong, I think Kimberly lost to Wanakee that season in 09. And then Steve Jones takes over, and of course 5 straight titles from 13 to 17, then getting to the championship game in 18, losing to Muskego, and then winning it, passing the torch to Chad Michaelwitz, who all he does in his first season is win his state title in 2022.
Oh.
False start there. That's not easy to do, Ricardo, to keep that program humming, right? From coach to coach to coach to coaching staff, different coaching staffs. There's been some, I guess, common denominator a little bit here and there with the coaching staff, but over the years. But man, what a run!
First down and 15. One of the few errors we just saw. Papermakers.
Pretty clean game, yeah.
Yep.
And now you're getting some different guys in. Taking the snap there was number 15, Reed Lindenberg. Sophomore playing some quarterback, and he handed it off to, what was that, number 21? Dylan Peterson, the senior.
So we didn't see Cam Wong, did we?
No, I don't think so. Wonder if he's nicked up. I don't know. Trying to look and see if I can see a number 7 out there on the sideline. I do. He's in shorts tonight.
Okay. Oh, look at this.
Oh, boy. Wow. Almost. Lindenberg with the carry there. Ball at the 6, first and goal for Kimberly, knocking on the door again. Lindenberg waiting for the snap. Oh, low snap. Does a good job to field the snap, get the handoff off. But number 95 there, Ty Pate, sophomore defensive lineman, getting in and dropping Dylan Peterson. Ricardo, they're battling those allergies here.
Oh, boy.
That's the price
Annoying.
price we pay for nice, warm September weather, guys. But it's a price I'm willing to pay.
It's killing me.
Ball at the 8. Lindenberg keeps it. Oh, whoa, whoa, big hole, and he's in from 8 yards out, guys. Another touchdown for the Papermakers.
Reed Lindenberg, 5'11", 173-pound sophomore, it says here. So
Awfully impressive game and an awfully impressive week. Again, remember we saw Kimberly in week 2 against Bayport. That was Kimberly's first game of the season because it's opening game, week 1. Milwaukee Vincent had a pull out of that one, and we were kind of curious how Kimberly was going to look against a pretty quality Bayport team as Hermes in for the PAT. Bangs it through again. And Kimberly looked very sharp that night in beating the Pirates. That was in Swamico. That was a 35-14 win. They followed that up last week with a 49-0 victory, and now doing another rout tonight, 42-7 over Fond du Lac as we look at our Cellcom scoreboard.
that's running clock now, right?
35-point lead.
Look at my UW Milwaukee map coming through.
And Chad Michael's got to be happy. He told our colleague, Mike Sherry doing, he previews some of the big games of,
Makes the predictions.
he makes a prediction, but also reaches out to the coaches to get some comments. And this is what Chad Michael's said on Facing Fond du Lac. Quote, Fond du Lac is a program that we have a great deal of respect for. Coach Pluker has gone out and scheduled some top-notch non-conference opponents to test his team early. Because of this, they are a team that has been in a lot of competitive situations already this season, end quote. And Kimberly is Ricardo just sort of brushed that away. I mean, look
They
what
sure have.
look what Fond du Lac. They lost to Sussex Hamilton 28-14. They lost to Marquette 31-12 and lost to Appleton North 21-7. 2 of those games were pretty tight contests. And now tonight you see what Kimberly has kind of come in, and this is also the home opener for Fond du Lac, by the way. The all first 3 games for the Cardinals were on the road,
That's
which is
tough.
crazy as well.
That's tough.
So if you're Chad Michael's and that coaching staff, you're very pleased that you come in here taking on a team that has faced 2 state-ranked teams already and an Appleton North team that is always fighting for a conference championship. And you've just kind of come in and just bulldoze your way to another win.
And who does Kimberly play next week, Brett?
Kimberly is at Appleton East next week, while
Okay.
Fond du Lac now, the 0-4 Cardinals are soon to be. They have to take on Kaukauna at Kaukauna. So how about that for a run? At Sussex Hamilton, at Marquette, at Appleton North, Kimberly, and then at Kaukauna.
Oh,
4 of your first 5 games on the road on top of that. And that is brutal. Brutal schedule.
I don't know what to tell you. That,
Well, how do
that
you-
is tough as I've ever seen any team.
Yeah.
A schedule and road games, I've never seen it like that.
So, yeah, tough competition to begin with, but then 4 of the 5 on the road.
I mean, I guess the the other side of that is that, well, I guess most of your remaining schedule's at home then.
Well, remember last year they made a run, right? It got hot, got into the playoffs after 0-3 start, was it? Or were they 0-4 as well
I
last
think they
year?
were 0-4.
And then got into the playoffs. So we'll see if Fond du Lac can draw off of that experience. But it's going to be tough because Kaukauna is up next. And we saw the last check, Kaukauna was up 17-zip over Nina. Again, next week, week 5, Cellcom varsity game of the week live stream for us. We're going to be in Appleton. Specifically, Fox Valley Lutheran High School. It's time to check out the Northeastern Conference and Bay Conference, 2 of those heavyweights. And the Foxes hosting the Irish. Should be a heck of a matchup there. It'll count in the conference standings. Kaukauna up 17-zip after 3, and our colleague Mike Sherry says it's a hip injury for Grant Dean, guys, and he's not going to be able to return tonight.
Gain of 18 on the play to the Kimberly 47-yard line. That's a Fonding Cardinal. First down.
First and 10 at the 47 of Kimberly for Fond du Lac. Heck of a run there by Henschel. Clock continues to run here late in the fourth quarter. 42-7 lead for Kimberly as the Cardinals are nearing the 35-yard line. They have a second and short from the 37.
Ricardo, how about this halftime score? Now, I'm sure it's been updated since then, but Wrightstown and Luxembourg Casco were tied 14 apiece.
Oh, wow, really?
Yeah.
Lux Casco giving them a game.
Oh, check that. Just got the final.
Oh.
Wrightstown wins 28-14.
Okay. Well, that's always fun to get that, right? The halftime score. And
Yeah,
then
and then
the
right
final
away.
right after. But Wrightstown, boy, oh boy, they're looking the part, Brett. I gave them a first place vote in the ESPN media poll for small schools.
Luxembourg Casco, tough team. As we are at running clock here with Kimberly up 35 points. Ricardo, what's the game plan after this? You're going to go down to the field, talk to some guys for Kimberly, and you're going to...
Then I'm going to head back and try to, compile stuff from around the area and try to get a couple comments as, trying to get this column for Sunday's print. You have to get it done by early morning tomorrow. That's always fun, trying to do that.
But folks, you can find that on postcrescent.com, right? And
yeah, and then a few days after I have my, just kind of recap, or I should say, my rankings, and then with other top players from this past, Friday, and look for that as well.
I also think, again, this all comes with a digital subscription, $1
does.
for 6 months.
Yes, sir.
And I believe, just a little hint, that there's going to be a cool little feature coming out in relation to helmets, high school helmets and logos, and maybe who's got the best one. And maybe could be some voting going on too, right?
That'd be fun.
So check that out. That could be a lot of fun. Who's got the best looking high school football helmet in the Post Crescent coverage area? Is it Kimberly? Is it Freedom? Maybe the Truckers.
They do have a cool helmet if I remember right.
How about the Mustangs? Little Shoot, they've got the Mustang now on their helmet.
Ah.
Trying to think of some other ones.
The Ghosts.
They're just a black helmet.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
They don't have thought maybe they'd have something on there.
Nina, how about Menasha, Xavier, FEL, and some of the smaller schools, Wyowega Fremont, Manawa, New London,
Zephyrs.
St. Mary Catholic Zephyrs,
You got the Train.
Appleton West, Appleton East, Appleton North.
I think Appleton West just has the AW, right, Rosie? If I remember
I
right.
should bring back the old classic Terrors.
That's cool. I mean, I like the way that looks. Rosie's showing it to us here.
Oh.
Winnicotti's just cool.
Winnicott.
That's old logo back when I was in high school.
How about Wrightstown?
Seymour's cool. That looks like the Chargers there.
How about Wrightstown?
Haven't seen the Tigers.
They got the classic white W on the royal blue helmet. Caden Umentum with the catch, but Keegan Pierce, number 5, a senior defensive back for the Papermakers, with the tackle. Clock continuing to run. 4th down.
Ooh, Wyowega Fremont says nice. Show Brett that.
Yeah, I saw that
Oh,
before.
you did? Okay.
Yeah, I'm kind of wondering maybe who's got the best out there. Maybe some folks on YouTube here before we wind down can let us know what they think. But then definitely go to postcrescent.com and check it out. Let's see if Fond du Lac tries to get to the line one last time here in this running clock. I'm not sure if they're going to get another playoff. Yeah, there we go. 4 seconds, 3 seconds, 2 seconds. Got one more snap here. Williamson going to take a shot at the end zone and knocked away. Knocking it away was Pierce for the Papermakers, and a good way for this one to end if you're a Kimberly fan. Zeros across the board means this one is finals. We look at our Cellcom scoreboard. Kimberly with the resounding win, top-ranked team, stays unbeaten. Papermakers win 42-7. Ricardo, some thoughts on this
first off,
one?
let's talk about Fond du Lac, and again, kind of what I said at halftime. There's talent there. Now you have a young quarterback, right? So there's going to be some learning. There's going to be some growing pains. There's no other way to describe it. So you're going to have to accept the fact that that's going to be the case, because his arc is going to continue to rise as he gets older.
It's going to be a good one.
Yes, he's going to be a good one. I like a lot from what I see from him. And Fond du Lac's just going to try to have to eke out some wins here second half of the season when they play at home, because right now this is a brutal schedule, especially with Kaukauna.
Maybe the toughest in the state, huh?
It has to be the toughest in the state. I can't even think of anybody else. But especially when given that a lot of their games were on the road to start the season. So playoffs, you're going to have to pull off quite the win streak at the end of the year to maybe even have some hope of that. For Kimberly, Brett, I gave them one of the 2 first-place votes in the large division poll for the ESPN media. I think they're the best team in the state. We've seen some of the best teams in the state with Muskego and Mukwonago. I think they're better than those teams, in my opinion. And that's why I put them there. I'm a little, again, I still want to see more development, and you do as well.
But we
from
saw
the quarterback, but we
more
saw
from
that.
week 2 to week 4 now. And now you're starting to see a little bit more, some wrinkles and a little more dynamic plays that this team, and the fact that they can balance it with a whole bunch of different guys, not just feed one guy the ball.
Here's the thing. Now, if they stay healthy, the defensive side of the ball is championship caliber.
Yeah.
They are good.
Offensive line's pretty darn
this team,
good, too.
Just on that alone, is going to get to the quarterfinals, semifinals because of the defense. Now, can the offense add in the finishing touches is what they're good. They have solid special teams, too.
They do. Yeah, great kicker. But
Yep.
I like their offensive line as well. But, it's just a matter of it all gelling together. But, yeah, they could be, again, we say it every year, but it could be a really tough out come playoff time. But Kimberly did what they had to do, right? They had to come. I thought they came in and made a bit of a statement today against a team that had played a tough schedule, and 2 of those 3 games that Fond du Lac had played were tight games. And Kimberly came in, took advantage of short fields, and just rolled. And a couple long touchdown runs, different guys scoring. It's a complete performance offensively, defensively, and special teams.
Did a great job. Guys, I got to get down there and talk to some folks. Thank you again, gentlemen. Appreciate it.
You got it,
We'll
Ricardo.
see you next week.
Safe travels back to Appleton.
You too.
And I'm going to run down the scoring here before we sign off. Kimberly gets on the scoreboard first. A 7-yard touchdown run by quarterback Braden Ellefson. 3rd down and goal situation that came with 6:01 to play. Made it 7-0. And then later on in the quarter, a 2-yard run by number 28, Brady Bell, with 1:03 to play. That was a 4th and goal run. 14-0, Kimberly with the lead. Right away in the second quarter, an 11-yard pass from Ellefson to Aaron Cullen. Actually came with 11:45 to play in the second quarter. That was just one play after the Jansen strip sack. Eli Jansen had the big strip sack for the Papermakers. The Papermakers get the ball right away on the Fond du Lac 11. A touchdown pass is good. 21-zip is the score. Fond du Lac gets on the scoreboard for the only time of the night. A nice 9-yard touchdown run by Mason Henschel. That was with 8:04 remaining in the second quarter. And then with 4:27 to play in the second quarter, a 72-yard touchdown run by Keegan Plew. It was just a one-play drive. That's all Kimberly needed. 28-7 was the halftime score. A third quarter touchdown run, a 60-yard run by Braden Ellefson, the quarterback, zigging and zagging his way through, made it 35-7 with 5:05 to go. And then with 5:36 to play in the fourth quarter, an 8-yard touchdown run by number 15, Reed Lindenberg, coming in, the sophomore quarterback, getting some playing time there in the fourth quarter, made it 42-7, and that's how this game ends. As we look again at our Cellcom scoreboard, 42-7, Kimberly with the win. Top-ranked Papermakers improved to 3-0 on the season, 2-0 in the FVA, and up next for them, they're at Appleton East next Friday in a Fox Valley Association matchup. Kickoff is set for 7 p.m. Fond du Lac, boy, that brutal schedule continues. The Cardinals fall to 0-4 on the year, 0-2 in the FVA, and they will be at Kaukauna next Friday in a Fox Valley Association matchup. Kickoff is set for 7 p.m. As for us, as I've mentioned, we'll be back at it next Friday night, Week 5, as Fox Valley Lutheran hosts Freedom in a Bay and Northeastern Conference crossover game. Two of the top teams in those leagues. The Foxes are ranked 6th in Division 3 in this week's WithSports.net State Coaches Poll, while the Irish ranked 10th in Division 4, both, again, undefeated entering tonight's action. It sounded like Freedom was taking it to Little Chute in the county end game over in Little Chute tonight. So we'll see how that all plays out. But live coverage from Fox Valley Lutheran High School kicks off at 6:45 p.m. And again, you can access our previous Game of the Week live streams on our USA Today Network Wisconsin websites. Just go to the sports section and scroll down until you see the Watch Our Varsity Game of the Week Prep live streams link. Again, thanks to our sponsors, Cellcom and Cooney's Embroidery and Sportswear. Again, for a limited time at Cellcom, every phone is on sale or free for new and existing customers. The choice is yours, so stop in or shop online at cellcom.com. And Cooney's, they have the skills and experience to customize your apparel and spread the word about your organization. Visit them online at Cooney's Embroidery and Sportswear.com. So for Ricardo, for Rosie, and the crew with USA Today Network Wisconsin, I'm Brett Christopherson signing off from National Exchange Field at Cardinal Stadium here on the campus of Fond du Lac High School. Once again, the final score tonight, Kimberly 42, Fond du Lac 7. Thanks for watching, everybody.